This is the Criterion Creeps podcast, RJ.
Is it? Is it?
That's last I checked, but
Is
it's
it?
but it's not Wednesday. I know that much.
What day is it?
It's Monday.
What's the calendar day?
It is
date, though?
May 31.
May 31. So we're already halfway through the year, Jarrett. Can you believe it?
Well, almost. We're a month away from halfway to the year, middle of this
We're
year.
halfway-
But we are halfway to the best time ever. That's Creeptober. And
Which
as long-time listeners will know, is Ghoulschoolin', Creeptoberin, whatever you want to call it, 31 Days of Horror. And we're fiending. We want to watch horror, but we can't because we have lives. Adult lives and adult interests that have
So what do we do? Okay,
us,
sorry.
it's dragged us away. It's dragged us away
Yeah.
from the things that we love. But
Yeah.
May has a special place in our hearts. And the last 3 years, what have we been doing? We've done some Full Moon with Charles Band.
Yeah.
We've done a little bit of Lloyd Kaufman and Trauma Entertainment. Last year, we went through almost the entire oeuvre of one Roger Corman.
Oeuvre.
No,
It's a fancy word
Where
from a fancy man.
Where we struck Roger Corman,
Yeah.
and upon that realization, and starting to detect a theme in our intense month-long viewing of a director, some might say schlockmeisters,
I wouldn't say that.
purveyors of genre
Yeah.
cinema on the to a direct market, selling it to giving fans what they want, finding a niche, making perhaps lower brow B genre, B movie types of things, and just indulge ourselves, take a break from these stodgy Italian, British, black and white, foreign subtitled movies that we have to watch every single week, and we have a little bit of fun.
Is that how you would describe this?
We mix it up a little bit.
Oh, okay. You would describe it as fun?
Well, I mean, it started off fun.
Did it even start off fun?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, I mean, the reason its initial start was something different completely, because that was a fever dream of a Charles Band.
I thought you were talking about Fred here.
Oh, no, yeah, not Fred himself. I thought you were talking grand scheme.
Oh,
grand scheme.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, yeah, Charles Band is boy,
A different duck altogether.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you described these fine gentlemen in a certain way. I would describe them in a different way, but
entertainers.
Yeah, entertainers, visionaries, perhaps true artists.
Putting smiles on faces.
They're putting something on something. I can tell you that much.
Titties. Sometimes.
It's not exactly what I meant, but I'll allow it.
Okay.
I will allow it. So, with all that said,
yeah, here we are.
So can you explain the intent this month? Can you tell the viewers out there, the listeners, why Fred?
Why Fred? Well, because it sounds really cool to say Fred Olen Ray.
It does.
It rolls right off the tongue. And he definitely qualifies in terms of who we've been tackling.
Yep.
As a man who's made 151 films, thereabouts. That we know of. There's the ones that are official, unofficial, ones under pseudonyms and whatnot. That's the way the business works sometimes, though. But he's done a little bit of everything, independent all the way through, working for, I guess, Hallmark-looking movies. Even working for Full Moon and selling movies to at least one movie to Troma.
Yeah, he did it all. He worked for Full Moon, Troma. He started small. He broke his way in. He wasn't, as far as I can tell, not the son of a fancy filmmaker. He's not Steven Spielberg Jr. It seems like he broke in.
He was a fan.
Yeah, he was a fan. He had a normal trajectory.
Born in 1954 in Wellston, Ohio.
Ooh. See, we have a fan base in Ohio, so this will play for them. But as you pointed out, he did some horror, he did some action, he dabbled in some light pornography, and
He served in the Navy.
yes, he did. He was, as far as I can tell, he was also a wrestler for a while.
Allegedly, had a stint, if Wikipedia is to be believed.
And what was his name again? Freddie Free, or something similar to
that. Fabulous Freddie Valentine.
That's a pretty good name.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a pretty good name. Jared.
But yes, he kind of. It seems like he was from Florida early on, and then moved on up to Los Angeles, as you do later on. But I believe he is back in Florida now and lives on Facebook, sharing
he lives on Facebook?
Yeah, sharing Daily Mail news stories.
Did you invite him on to this episode?
I have not. No.
I bet if you messaged him right now, he'd probably join.
No, I'm sure he's got a life, RJ. Unlike us.
I bet if you message him, I bet he'd join.
Look, I'm not here to make friends.
Yeah, I know. I'm not saying that we have to praise the man. I tell him like it is. I'll say, listen, buddy, Air Rage might be one of the worst movies I've ever seen. And I'm sure he would agree with me.
Wow. Okay.
I'm sure he would agree with me.
All right. Here we go. Well, we're gonna do it. We're gonna tackle it.
Okay.
Fun fact: he loaned a 16mm camera to Quentin Tarantino, so Tarantino could make My Best Friend's Birthday.
So does that mean he's in the same wheelhouse as Quentin?
Absolutely.
Yep. See, no one can say that we don't pick quality directors for the month of May, because this guy's best friends with Quentin Tarantino. Clearly.
He does post an awful lot about dead and dying Hollywood people. So RJ.
Yeah.
You want to kick things off here? Let's see where do you want to begin? I mean, I made a ranked list. I think you've already made yours public.
Yes, I have.
Are we going to go in chronological order?
I mean, that makes the most sense. Unless you would like to go in alphabetical order.
That's not helpful to anybody, I don't think.
Why not?
Because if chronological just makes the most sense, and I think that's what we've done every year up to this point. So,
all right. Whatever.
But what we could do is we could reveal where we wound up watching 40.
You got 40. I think you just squeaked past me then, because I believe I capped at 39.
Oh, son of a dog!
You squeezed in that venomous today, and you one-upped me.
Mm-hmm. And my original plan was my last viewing was going to be Sniper.
Well, that's what I had thought too. So that was why I finished off on it. But I wouldn't have had time to fit anything else in. So
I knew I wanted to throw in like one of these because he made a few of these like 2000s like snake films and when animals attack tactile movies. Everyone's got one of those under their in their Steve Spielberg's got Jaws. Catalog. Yeah,
he did Anaconda too, didn't he?
Who's that? Steven Spielberg? Oh,
yeah,
that's news to me. You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah,
with John Voight.
Yeah, they were buds. John Voight actually lent Spielberg an 8mm for his first movie, and not a lot of people don't know that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Scoops.
So, what did you say? You want to start in chronological?
Yeah, let's do it. Chronological, yeah.
Chronological Demented Death Farm Massacre?
So, that's a weird one.
Yes.
Because that's technically 1986, if you want to...
Okay, wait. I have to fall all the way back. Did you include Demon Cop in your list?
I do have Demon Cop in my list, just because I want to talk. I just want to talk about it.
Then my number also hits 40.
Ooh.
Because I did not include it in the list. I watched it, but it's once we get to it, it's confusing as to who made that movie and how. But anyways,
but it's fine.
Okay, well, you tell me where to start then.
Okay, so
brain leeches?
Let's talk about this Brain Leeches.
Okay.
So, Brain Leeches from 1978. Fred Olen Ray's directorial debut.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure he made some like short films and weird odds and ends before this, but
something.
This is his movie that's comes in at a whopping 55 minutes.
And how nice did that feel?
Well, this one it didn't feel that great. It didn't help that much. So a tagline for this film from Letterboxd: home movie telling the story of leeches from space that crash on Earth and attempt to take over the world.
Man, that just rolls right off your tongue.
Yeah. On the poster that is on Letterboxd, we have an Odyssey of Terror. That's actual tagline.
Yeah, that makes more sense. Although Odyssey is a strange word to use. I don't really see that fitting, but oh well.
It's a journey of terror.
Yeah, I suppose. So tell me what Brainleach is about, other than communism.
Invading aliens are taking over the brains of folks in a small town. The head leech is a wad of black tinfoil with a couple of white thumbtacks for eyes. Others are spidery-like rubber things pulled along by strings.
That's a good point to make. Sure.
That is the synopsis.
I mean, I feel like they didn't have to just lay it all out like that on Fred. You didn't have to do him dirty like that.
Well, I think he does do his best to not have this film made available anymore.
Oh, he's not a fan?
No, I mean, would you be?
Well, so here's the thing about Brain Leeches.
Yeah.
As first movies go, where would you compare this in, like, because everyone's first movie is a little bit different, but let's say, what about like Reservoir Dogs? Where would you compare this?
Well, that's not even his first film.
What was his first film?
The Happy Birthday one, we just talked about. Remember that? Right. Remember when we said that not that long ago?
No, I don't remember.
How does this compare to Following, RJ?
I'd say they're neck and neck. I'd say neck and neck. So where's the criterion of Brain Leeches is the real question.
Indeed.
So this one I watched. So a few of these movies are going to be a little bit out of my memories now. I tried to either make a review or make notes, like at least a note on each movie so I could try to remember it. Yeah. And all I remember talking about here is Red Menace, Communists meet American Freedom and whatnot. So I do remember, I think that there's like, are the aliens a metaphor for communism, Jarrett?
Well,
is that what this movie is about?
Since this movie is a play on 1950s science fiction, like Invasion of the Body Snatchers, where people are being, either their brains are being taken over by aliens or they're being replaced by aliens. Some might say that it is a metaphor for the communists. Some have also said that perhaps it is about conformity in general, and being taken over and being by whatever state power that might be, or some other unknown actor. But yeah, I'd say communists.
I mean, I think you're hitting at a lot of layers here, Jarrett. This thing's got depth. This thing's got like real meat you can dig into.
Just like the swamps.
Just like the swamp.
There's layers.
Layers. Well, there's a little swamp action. So, so brain leeches, I'm trying to remember. You do get there's a couple brain leechy parts. Like, it's not all kind of hidden off camera. They try a little bit, right? Like, in terms of effects and kills. They try.
I think the thing that stands out at me now, like a month later, is the regional film quality of it, where you get like the foresty woods, that lo-fi look. That's about it, but it is draggy, and it seems like it was composited over and over again, like they were trying to make it work and try to also be in on the joke of making a bad movie, which is always kind of troublesome. Not necessarily the best track to go, but people do it all the time. You shot all this stuff, you might as well try to like make it work and be like, yeah, I know it's crap. You can't say it's crap. I already know it is. I beat you to it.
No, I agree with you. It doesn't leave much to be desired. It's not great. It's kind of like, it was exactly what I expected, if that makes sense. When I was watching, I was like, this is kind of what I thought this was going to be for brain leeches. Yeah. You get a little bit of stuff. Some of it doesn't really make sense. It's kind of it's not even try hardy. It's like they went for something, didn't really land. Oh well. There's not much to say about brain leeches, to be honest. It's like you said, it's under an hour, but you feel that hour. You're really watching for an hour. So it's fine, but it is not a good movie. Not one that you could watch with anyone.
But speaking of Florida and swamps and
Ooh,
aliens,
Aliens.
you know about the Alien Dead from 1980?
Oh, I know about the Alien Dead. This is one of the reasons I did want to do Fred Olen Ray more than others is there was a natural kind of crossing point with Fred between the Alien subsection that I am a fan of and the Bikini subsection that I am also a fan of. So there's a lot of overlap.
So like a Jim Wynorski,
Yes.
combined with your, say, love of Don Dollar.
Exactly. That's why Freddie O was just, it was right there. I was actually looking forward to this one since last year. I was like, man, Freddie O, there's a lot of these movies I want to watch. And one of them, Jared, was The Alien Dead. Now, my opinion of this movie is potentially a little bit inflated.
May I give you a tagline for this film?
Yes, of course. Of course.
The bodies are dead. The remains live on. And a synopsis.
That sounds great.
A meteor strikes a houseboat in the swamps near a southern town populated by Yankees with fake accents. The people on the houseboat become zombies who feed on the alligators in the swamp. Once they run out of alligators, they start going for the citizens. A local scientist tries to figure out what's happening to people once they start disappearing.
I love any synopsis that goes with a local scientist investigates, and you go,
Yeah. That could be you, RJ.
I am a local scientist, Jarrett. I don't know if you know this, but I have a lab coat, and I have one of those thingies to make things look bigger, that you look into, and it makes things bigger that are small. You know the thingy. Science. What was I going to say? Did they have fake accents? Was that just put in there kind of cheekily because they didn't do good accents?
I think it's a little cheeky.
A little cheeky? Okay. Well, I mean, it sounds awesome just from the sound of it.
This poster currently is this like muckman looking like hooded fellow dragging this blonde lady away.
Yeah.
Fortunately, her butt is turned in such a way toward the audience that you can see it.
What about her front parts?
In a flattering way. Well, her legs crossed, teasingly across with her leggings kind of half down. And her top kind of revealing up. It's a wonderful piece of illustration, RJ. Great. Huge.
This poster would actually be super cool for like a games room. I think it would look cool.
Have coworkers over. Talk about the Alien Dead.
What else are you gonna do?
No, I like this one better than that previous one they had. The blue. It was like a bluish green one. It was just like
poster.
A woman spaced out on it.
Yeah. It was that one was that one. The poster didn't look very good at all for that one. But so for Alien Dead, I think this was actually in my watch list for a while because I was like, oh, a Freddie O movie with aliens, which he has many. I was like, I'll throw him in my watch list. But again, my review of this, my rating is possibly a little bit inflated because I started with this and then this was right when I was watching Air Rage as well. I was excited to get into Freddie O's movie, so I was like, yeah, I'm on board with this. And I thought this movie was fine, man. I liked some of the zombie stuff that they alien zombies, I guess, that they do. They're just hanging out kind of in the water. There's extended scenes, which some people might find a little off-putting.
Extended scenes.
Well, isn't there? I think there's a scene where there's just one of these alien guys just in the water, and it's just like that for like 2 minutes or something. It's just him kind of blubbing around.
Yeah, I kind of recall there was like people kind of walking around back roads, and then Zombie Dead come along, and they're just like they're kind of massaging bodies rather than like tearing them apart Romero style.
What do you do with a fresh body? Do you massage it as well?
Well, when you don't have much of a budget, you kind of just like massage away, groping away, and you're like, I'm pulling you apart. Theater of the mind.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it's all about, Jared. It's like Broadway. Yeah, you kind of have to put yourself inside the magic. Do you know what I mean? Magic, like such amazing lines delivered with fake accents like ass deep and gators. Which I thought was pretty good. I like all the gator talk.
You like that gator talk, huh?
Although you don't really see a whole lot of gators, do you? I think there's like one. There's like one or two, but you don't really see a whole lot.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think there's a whole heck of a lot going on. But hey, this begins, I feel, Fred Olen Ray putting in like a star from yesteryear to work. Here we have Buster Crabbe.
Could you explain to me, or to the listeners at home, who Buster Crabbe is?
Clarence Lyndon Buster Crabbe was an American athlete and actor who starred in a number of popular screen serials in the 30s and 40s.
Okay.
His most watched is Flash Gordon, but he was also showed up in an odd Audie Murphy movie, Arizona Raiders, Daughters of Shanghai, a W.C. Fields picture. You're telling me Search for Beauty? He was the lead. He was a big star. But
clearly,
but The Alien Dead is his second most popular film.
Wait. For Buster Craig?
Yeah, Buster Crabbe.
Buster Crabbe?
Crabby.
I mean,
Crabbe.
do you think that's his real name? Probably.
He was in a ton of westerns. Tons.
Apparently, Wikipedia says Fred Olen Ray made a western, but that's different from what Letterboxd would tell us. Something called The Shooter, which neither of us watched because I didn't realize it existed.
Oh.
But that's neither here nor there. We're here to talk about The Alien Dead.
And you know what we're also here to talk about? Scalps.
Okay, so you do your intro to Scalps, and I'll tell you my my Scalps rundown
from 1983. I guess, yeah. We haven't been talking about where we're ranking these movies. We've already fucked that up.
Well, I mean, it's easy to do. I have out of 40, I have Brain Leeches in the third last position.
Okay, that's about right for me. It's pretty well it's not dead last.
It's not dead last, no. And then Alien Dead, even though I did like Alien Dead, in the grand scheme of my boy Fred, I actually have Alien Dead pretty low on my list at 32 out of 40. And it's, again, I didn't find it bad. It's just there were some of these movies that I liked quite a bit more.
So I got Brain Leeches on mine at 36.
Okay.
And I've got Alien Dead at 9.
Ooh, that's pretty good. So you are a big fan of Alien Dead.
Apparently.
That's surprising.
I might have to revisit this list. That's how it stands right now.
See, I might bump Alien Dead up a couple spots, but it wouldn't crack the top 15 for me if I move it up a little bit.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, I'd say Alien Dead belongs to a particular style of movie that I'm pretty okay with watching.
Yeah.
It kind of just reminds me of things like the Living Dead of Manchester Morgue. It has the same type of vibe to it. And it kind of reminds me of zombies. Something about swamp bayou zombies. Kind of like the Beyond a little bit, but completely different. Not at all the same thing. But there's something about that that I'm okay with. Regional filmmaking. I'm okay with it.
I agree. See, I moved it up because I actually liked Alien Dead more than Scalps, so I had to bump mine up a few positions.
Well, so we got Scalps. The film is a silly group of college science students go on a dig around an Indian burial ground for artifacts. Unfortunately, one of them becomes possessed by the evil spirit of Blacklaw, so he must therefore slaughter all of his friends.
Is that what happens in Scalps?
Amongst other things. There's some lion dudes.
Is the lion dude ever is there any closure on that? Because you see him for a bit. Does it ever come back?
Well, it seems like there's a lot of dudes. There's zombie monster head dude with its kind of problematic makeup.
It's a little bit problematic.
A little problematic. So, Scalps. This is actually the very first Fred Olen Ray movie I'd ever seen. And I watched it, by not knowing who he was, 2013. This was when I was probably watching 1 or 2 movies a day, all the time for years. And I'm like, ooh, Scalps. This sounds kind of weird, like a redsploitation slasher film. This could be pretty interesting. And boy, did I not like this the first time I watched it. Giving it 1.5 stars out of 5, which is pretty low for me.
Uh-huh. And
but,
on rewatch?
I've acclimated. I've gotten used to these sorts of things. My tastes have developed. And on revisiting Scalps here in 2021 in the context of Fred, it's not too bad. Not bad. It's got some cool. It's got some pretty good visuals. It's probably got some of the most memorable visuals. Can I remember them this very second? No. So maybe I'm lying. However, I think while I was watching it, I was kind of like startled, very vague, like in a slight way, where I was like, "Oh, that's kind of neat. This is at least going for something. Like this has got kind of a visual identity, punctuated by extended scenes, as you put it previously, of college kids going out on a science dig, and there's a lot of people with curly 70s hair and lots of very well fit 70s clothes chatting by the station wagon out in the desert, and a lot of, where did they go? I don't know where they are they okay? I don't know, I think they might be dead. Oh no, the car's broken down, all while being pursued by possessed Black Clawman, Lionhead. That stuff's okay. The dream sequences, the possessions.
Yep. Yeah. That stuff's all cool. There's some scalping as well.
Yeah, hence the title Scalps.
Yep. Well, sometimes you'll watch a movie called Scalps expecting scalps, but no one ever actually gets scalped. So I just have to point out that in these Fred Olen Ray movies, unlike bad directors, like, I don't know, let's say Denis Villeneuve, who describe a movie in a certain way, these movies all deliver on whatever their title are. So
what about massaging?
Well, with the exception of Masseuse, most of these films make good on their titles, I believe. And then with the exception of Demented Death Farm and Masseuse, because those are liar movies.
Okay.
But so I for some reason, is there another film called Scalps that is more highly regarded?
There are 2 Scalps films.
Okay. So I had this in the watch list for a long time because I thought it was the Scalps that people actually enjoy or like give decent ratings, like 3s or whatever. And I was like, oh yeah, Freddie O, he did that Scalps. People seem to like that. So,
well, there's 1983 Scalps, and then there's 1987 Scalps, which I don't know if is very well regarded, RJ. So it is co-directed by one Bruno Mattei, which is a name that's been floated before.
A real person.
That is a real person.
Yeah, 100%.
Because when he directed this, he went by Vincent Dawn.
What's up with these dudes with all these aliases?
Sometimes, maybe M. Night Shyamalan should learn a lesson from that.
I mean, what would his alias be? Just Pete?
Yeah.
Pete Shyamalan?
Pete Baylog.
He could be. I don't think there are any Petes in our family. But, okay, well, I was under the impression that one of the Scalps was good, and maybe not.
Okay.
I didn't mind Scalps. I thought it was okay, but watching it, there were quite a few extended scenes. I was confused by the dog face man. With especially, like, it made more sense later, but I think by the time I kind of got to the end, I was like, well, okay, I get the hallucination stuff. I get the somewhat like
the
possession
fever dreams.
Yeah, the fever dreams, the possessions. I think there's really good ideas there. I don't think it lands all of them as well as it. I don't know. It's good ideas. I don't think the execution's quite there, and it's like, that's too bad, because I think it could have been, especially because, as I pointed out, I think this is very similar to S. Craig Zoller films in a sense. I think it was almost there. I think they just missed it. On Scalps.
Damn. Well, you know, this actually wound up number 12 on my list, RJ.
God damn, man. You and I have vastly different tastes, Jared. Vastly.
No.
But we'll see if our top 4 or 5 are the same.
My standards are different now. They've all twisted up because some of this stuff is tough. It's just like it doesn't hold the interest. That's for sure.
Some of this stuff could go either way, for sure. Yeah. But I don't know, Jer. I don't know.
Whatever beach blanket bloodbath is, no idea. It comes up on this.
We couldn't get it.
Yeah, I don't know what this is or where it is, but I know what Biohazard's all about from 1985.
Tell me about Biohazard.
Well, I'm going to give you 2 taglines. One is, "It feeds on human flesh," and
okay.
I much prefer, "Sense it, feel it, fear it, be very afraid."
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I like the sense it, feel it, smell it. Just really, really immerse yourself in Biohazard, Jared.
Yeah, that's right.
I really liked the opening credits to this thing, where it's like the green, like 90s computer, like
90s computer, my word.
I mean, it seemed like 90s computer stuff.
Yeah,
it was ahead. They were ahead of their time, Jared. Is the point.
A group of skeptical government officials headed by General Randolph are brought to a remote laboratory for a demonstration in quote-unquote psychic materialization, a successful side effect of an experimental drug. But the project scientists had warned that not enough testing had been completed to access safety concerns. Mm-hmm. In a freak accident during the demonstration to the politicians, a vicious creature is created. Unable to contain the monster, it unleashes unbelievable havoc and destruction against mankind, reproducing itself at an alarming rate, and all known weapons seemingly powerless against the creature. The scientists are gravely concerned for the survival of mankind.
All mankind they're concerned of?
Yeah, that's as big as stakes as there are.
I mean, I can see the concern, but for all mankind? That seems a little bit a little much.
But we got Aldo Ray. Aldo Ray's in this movie.
And any relation to Fred?
No. Maybe he tricked him. Said, "Hey, I'm your nephew."
I mean, I'm sure someone has done that and it's actually worked before. No,
might have here. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know. If Aldo Ray's career heights were behind him, and you know what? Sometimes a paycheck's a paycheck. Because Fred would use him a little bit more too, with a Star Slammer.
So you'll have to tell me about that when we get there, because I didn't rewatch it, but I have seen it.
Okay.
Yeah. So tell me about your opinions on Biohazard.
So Biohazard is a movie where Fred got his son, Christopher Ray, to get in a little alien monster suit and run around and pretend to kill people.
Yep.
And that's pretty cool.
I'm glad you say that, because I also thought this movie was pretty cool. I really liked. I think when you first see the alien, you don't get like a sense of size. But then once they start putting the alien like next to people and you see how little it is, I thought that was super funny. And I was just like, I like this. I like that they didn't try to make it a big scary thing. It's just this little guy that's running around. It was cute.
Falling out of the back of vehicles.
Yeah, he's just like falling around, or it's like falling over, and like
I'm not sure how old he was at this point, but
I don't know how old he was, but he was definitely under 5 foot, or maybe just at 5 foot.
I like that part about that part where he kills that homeless guy and then tears up that E.T. poster because he's like, "This ain't your daddy's alien movie from 3 years ago."
I also like that because I was like, Fred, you're punching up here, buddy. Don't go after Spielberg. There's no reason for that. No reason. But I was like, I see what they're trying to do. I thought Biohazard was kind of fun. I actually liked it because like I said, I really liked seeing this little guy just kind of run around and bite people. I was like, I'm into this. I didn't realize it was his son that was in the suit. I thought it was just like a small man. And I was like, that's also cool. Why not get a small man in there running around biting people? So I thought this was not bad, Jarrett. Not bad.
The buxom lady started appearing. I
yes.
think, here.
Yeah, you do get one. She's a scientist in this one.
Angelique
And,
Pettyjohn,
yeah, Angelique Pettyjohn. That's quite a name.
American actress and burlesque queen.
Oh wow. Yeah, this is where you first get a real taste of Fred throwing in either topless ladies just standing around or topless ladies doing things. So you get a little bit of that in here.
Yeah.
Although the dude who is like the romantic counterpart for her, they could have got someone a little bit better to come up to where she was performing at, I think.
Right.
But she was a good convincing scientist, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she had. I bought it. I was like, yeah, this lady seems like she knows what science is.
I will say that I probably think that Biohazard has the best ending of any of the movies this entire month.
Oh yeah. Biohazard's ending is pretty incredible because can you describe what happens in the last 2 seconds?
It's like pretty well your hero is like facing off against, like, he's just finally maybe killed the last biohazard, but then it turns out there's like the biohazard queen who is Angelique, and she's been behind this all along now, or is like now like the ultimate form, but it's already too late and the world's going to end, and you're like, oh man, where's the big climax? Because this movie's advertised here as 84 minutes long. It is not whatsoever near 84 minutes. It's probably about 60 minutes. And then the movie's like hitting a climax, and then suddenly it's like the actor literally just kind of goes, like he literally turns to the camera and goes, yeah, that's it. And then it goes to bloopers. And because it's like, that's the end. It's just like it builds to this ridiculous point where they can't go any further. And then they literally throw up their hands and go, yeah, that's it. We're done now.
Yeah.
Run the blooper reel and watch footage of like Fred Olen Ray like get frustrated with people.
I thought that was really great. Where it's just like they're like, you figure out the ending, smart guy. It's like, you think you know how movies end? Why don't you figure it out?
Who gives a shit?
That is really good. The ending is terrific. And then the blooper reel. I was surprised that like I've seen directors like directing on sets before, but I've never seen a director quite like Freddie O. Really laying into these people, or not like laying in. He's not being like mean or anything, but like the amount of like how he actually goes about this. I was like, man, what a glimpse into the mind of or the work of this talented individual, Jared. Really enlightened me on Fred, what he was all about. Because I think what was it like? They were just like saying stuff. He's like, again, do it like this. No, I do it like this. No, maybe like that. And he's just like, no, stop it. He just, it just like he was constantly hurting these people. It was pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting, Jared. I got Biohazard at 15 on my list.
I have it on my list at 15.
Holy shit. Well, that's nice. We're in agreement. It's a fun little show.
I thought I'd say, yeah, for what we're getting here, it's not bad. This is kind of like the trajectory of a lot of these movies.
Yes.
Is the beginnings are like have these interesting little things, and then as time goes on, it's downhill. But are we going to get the same with Fred all the way to the point that at least that where we drop off? We'll see.
We'll see. So I, as we were talking here, I just moved some of my initial ones around a little bit. So if you had looked at my list before, it's changed now.
I haven't looked lately.
So I'll give you my number first, but I have moved things around a little bit here.
That's fine. I haven't looked for a bit, but now we got The Tomb,
which is at 34 out of 39 for me.
It is 35.
35, not too bad.
From
See, I don't have Demon Cop.
1986.
I should probably add Demon Cop just so there's some consistency here.
That's close enough. People get the sense of it.
Yeah.
The Tomb from 1986. Her ancient fury sought its revenge. Their courage was our last hope. An Egyptian princess rises from the dead and goes to California for the amulet she needs.
California. California. I like the wizard one.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
my big note here was I had
Sure.
made a review on Letterboxd. Like, what
Okay.
was up with the 1980s American pop culture fascination with Egypt?
Is it Indiana Jones?
Well, that's what the one guy responded, saying it was
Yeah.
Indiana Jones ripoffs more like it. There were quite a plethora of them back in the day, and I was like, yeah, no, because that's like obviously the cover
Yeah.
is very obviously wearing the indie hat.
Yeah.
That's not hard to miss. However, there's like I think about the popularity of the Bangles song "Walk Like an
Yeah.
Egyptian," which came out the same year.
Okay.
And then there's also other B movies. There's Blood Diner, which is a remake of Blood Feast, which it has this like Egyptian thing, but it's like contemporary. And I'm like, were people really into mummies? Like I remember, like when I was a kid, I was like,
Maybe.
was I really into mummies? And it's like, oh, it's over there, but it's I don't know. It's a weird othering thing. I mean,
Yeah.
pyramids were cool. I remember as a kid thinking Egypt was cool, but I also thought dinosaurs were cool. History's cool, RJ.
Egypt is cool. You ever seen Beetleborgs? That show is about Egypt.
Yeah, that's the first time other than when you bring it up. I don't think about it that often.
Well, you're going to now, buddy. I think the poster is definitely Indiana Jonesy, but the movie is in no way Indiana Jonesy. I don't think at
But
least.
you know what we do get is we got John Carradine, who,
Yes, we do.
who you might recall from Demented Farm Massacre.
Demented Death Farm Massacre.
Yes, that's the one.
Yep.
Yeah, because he's in there too, looking old as fuck.
Yes, he pops up a few times.
Yeah. So we get John Carradine here though, who literally shows up and says, "Yeah, I'm going to die like anytime now," and then he literally dies like 2 minutes later, and he's while sitting, he's just like, "Ugh," he's dead, and you're like, "Okay."
Hey, you. That's masterclass filmmaking. That you can't teach that. That's given talent to
God-given.
plot like that. You know what I mean? This is also, I believe, our first appearance of Michelle Bauer, I think, who becomes a regular in these films.
And Cameron Mitchell, I feel like he shows up in
Quite a few.
I mean, that was like actually one of those things I was kind of like, oh, cool, Cameron Mitchell, because that guy is in a whole lot of B movies.
I'm going to try to look him up.
Demon Cop.
Oh, I see. Oh, yes. I would be remiss if I didn't mention, I know this guy. Our good buddy Corpse, who has been following along and I believe watched almost 40 of these Freddy O movies as well. He just had a review talking about seeing the same people pop up in lots of these Fred Olen Ray movies, and you get kind of you're like, oh yeah, it's Michelle Bauer or John Carradine or that fat guy who comes up eventually. You know the fat guy from Sorority House Massacre 2, one of Jim Wynorski's buddies.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All these dudes. Lloyd Kaufman, Charles Band. They all have their stock.
They're guys.
Yeah, they have their character. They're actors they call upon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It makes
so
sense. You work well together, bring them back. Like Corman had, like, I don't know how many. I'd have to go back to last year, but there's these people. It's like, Dick Miller. He even shows up in Fred Olen Ray because why
Yes,
not?
he does.
You want him in there too, checking out ladies bending over.
Sure, you do. So I like
getting his dick bit off.
Well, only a little bit, but yeah, I like seeing Michelle Bauer here doing her Egyptian thing. I think she's a little bit underutilized, to be honest. But I think this movie is. I thought it's fine. Like I don't think it's outright bad or anything. It's just it's not super interesting because you're just watching. You're like, okay, yeah, all right, okay.
Mm-hmm. People
right.
get tricked. People get seduced into sex and die. That happens quite a bit.
Well, I mean, that's just the real world, Jarrett.
That's just the real world. And
Happens every day.
I forgot to mention Sybil Danning also makes her debut.
And she comes back quite a bit.
Just actually in Phantom Empire, I think.
That's it?
Yeah.
Shit. I thought it was more than that.
Being super chesty.
Sorry, could you say again?
So next up, I guess we could talk about Demented Death Farm Massacre.
Sure.
So this was a film made in 1971 by a guy named Don Davison.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure what the circumstances are, but Fred Olen Ray bought the film, and because it was back in 1971, it was called Shantytown Honeymoon, and he shot some footage with John Carradine, who is the judge of hell. Inserted these like little clips into the movie, framing it as some sort of like weird like moralistic film about people getting what they deserve. And John Carradine's old. He's a crypt keeper here.
Yeah.
And then so this is a film that like he then put into a limited theatrical release, and then he sold the rights to Troma. He tricked Lloyd into putting this out because it fits into like that kind of Hicksploitation stuff where, God, like it's like whatever it was, like a year or two ago, I was watching these horror movies and it seemed like every single goddamn one involved a bank heist and then them winding up in the woods and then them getting killed by hillbillies or something in the woods. God damn it. So yeah, this movie is not good.
No, it is not.
In any traditional sense. It kind of fits into... Yeah, this is regional filming. This is the boring stuff. But I will say that I think I like this more than The Tomb.
Yeah, I mean, it is... The Tomb's not great.
Because this kind of reminds me of those schlocky trauma movies that Kaufman didn't actually make. But it's kind of like Mother's Day. The poster is completely misleading. There is no Scythe lady.
I mean, I think the title's a little misleading as well.
Yeah, it's pretty low stakes. You're thinking, you're gonna get some Leatherface action? Nah. Just people getting bored and killing each other.
Yep. No. I was a little bit disappointed with this one because I thought the title was a little bit more promising, and I have this one just under The Tomb, but they're pretty close to me where I can see why you like it a little bit more. It does have a little bit more of that Jarrett touch.
It's like a Vinegar Syndrome movie.
Yeah. I agree. I think it's still at the end of the day I was kind of like meh. I was like, man, this is floating near the bottom of the pool for me. If you know what I mean. I think I hear what you're saying. Watch your step. Yeah, you got to watch out in this pool, the pool that is Fred. So but 1986 is a pretty prolific year for Fred. We got The Tomb and two other films to talk about. We got Armed Response from 1986. Yep. Which is I guess maybe Fred's got some budgets now coming his way. And he's got some names that are showing up that we're going to see a whole bunch in his productions. Armed Response from 1986. There's only one way to challenge the face of death. And apparently, based on the poster, you would assume, Michael Berryman? He's the face of death? He's the bad guy? He's going to fuck people up. The synopsis. Okay. Hit me with the synopsis. One of Tanaka's underlings has stolen a rare statuette that he had planned to use as a peace offering between the local Yakuza and Chinese Tong. He hires two private investigators to exchange ransom money to recover the statuette, but the trade goes down bad and Clay Roth is killed. This angers Roth's brothers and father, all combat veterans, and they go after the people responsible. So we got ourselves a little bit of vetsploitation, RJ. We sure do. And my vetsploitation, Jared, I like it. So just so you know, I got this son of a bitch at number 4 on my list. I have this at number 8. Yeah, I liked Armed Response quite a bit. I think the intro to this movie is real good, where it's like the guy he gets he cuts his own finger off because he does that. That's Yakuza stuff, right? Yeah, he cuts his own finger off to like prove a point. He's like, yes, you can still trust me. And then he goes out into the car and starts it, and then he blows up anyways. But he's with his girlfriend, and she's like, what happened?
on my finger. Oh, what happened to it? It's like,
Yeah.
did they cut off your finger? No, I did myself. Oh, should we put it back on? No.
And then
And it explodes anyway. You're like, oh, but what a cold open.
I know. I thought it was really good. And then my other notes here, I have hot pants. I can't remember who was wearing hot pants. Maybe Carradine. Maybe
so-
Michael Berryman.
We got David Carradine and we got Lee Van Cleef.
One of them is wearing hot pants, I believe.
Hanging out in the bar.
Yeah. And then I have Vietnam PTSD and old man foo, because Carradine does some old man foo in this, and I liked it. I thought it was cool.
We have probably one of the most prolific, I think, of the Fred Olen Ray cast of actors, Ross Hagen, who is in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 Fred Olen Rays. I've watched. I've told 13 Ross Hagen movies I've ever seen. 12 of them are all from this last month.
Yeah, same with me. He is in a lot of these movies. And is he? No, is Ross Hagen the guy who is the picture? Like, the picture I just put out, was that Ross Hagen or is that a different guy?
I think that's a different guy.
Okay, that guy's in a ton of these as well. Okay, I'll get to that guy later.
You'll get to that guy. Is that the guy from Beverly Hills Vamp?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Or Evil Spawn.
Evil Spawn, and he's in Terminal Force. Fuck. Let me look up what this guy is, because he's in a movie later, and they're watching Terminal Force.
So Armed Response is just like a 1980s action movie, and
yes,
it's
it is.
probably the most traditional, generic action movie you could expect. I think if you were comparing it to other action movies of the era, it would not be great. It would be a 2-star movie.
Sure.
But in terms of Fred Olen Ray viewing, this is top 10 material.
Yes, I'm glad that you think so, because that's definitely what I thought. Because when I was watching this, I was like, oh yeah. I was like, this is what I'm here for.
Michael Berryman's like a assassin hitman who starts ganking people, but then he shows up at the bar and just gets his ass kicked at the end.
Yes, he does. And then you're like, aw, Michael Berryman.
No.
I watched this really early on. This is when I was going alphabetically, which I know that you advised against, but I was doing it anyways.
Well, this is also the movie that has like the amazing scene with Dick Miller, because there's like the guy and the girl that show up, and Dick Miller gets out of the car, and there's an exchange, and I sent it to you because it's about like, how did it go? And you're like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And I was like, it's just in the movie you watched last night.
I genuinely did not remember what I don't even remember now. You sent me that conversation. I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And you're like, you just watched this movie. And I was like, must have missed it. Something about blowing dicks off or something like that.
Yeah. There was definitely talk about dicks.
Yeah, there was some dicks in there. And the guy I think I was thinking of is Jay Richardson. He plays, so he's in Bad Girls from Mars. He's in about 12 of these films as well. So we'll get there.
We will.
I can't remember exactly what Dick Miller's line was. Something about blowing a dick off or something like that. But I liked it. And this one too, it has some stunts in it, which was nice.
I'm very close to finding it because I'm now at the beginning of May of our conversations.
Oh, God. Yeah. Well,
remember. Oh yeah, here it is. No, shit. Binding contract. Must not have heard this. Oh, yeah. The correct response is, this ain't my dick I'm playing around with here, when asked if they have a gun. And then there was...
Pretty good.
And then I think after they think they've killed these people, they say, we shot her tits off.
Well, what else are you going to do, Jared?
But it turns out she was just like in the back seat of the car, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting how that happens.
I mean, it does happen. It happens.
I think we've done an amazing job of selling this film to people.
I mean, I would watch it again based on how we're talking about it.
Questionable. What about Star Slammer from 1986, RJ?
Okay, so there were 2 films in here that I've seen before and I did not rewatch: Star Slammer and Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers.
Really?
Yes, I did not rewatch them, but I watched Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers last year, or maybe a little bit more than that, and Star Slammer I watched a little while ago. So I didn't feel I needed to rewatch it, but I remember enjoying Star Slammer. I was like, Star Slammer's not bad. It's got some stuff in it.
Star Slammer.
I gave it 2.5 stars.
That's what I gave it to, but I think it's actually not too horrible. It's just there's just better movies you could watch that are the same idea. So Star Slammer 1986, Untamed, Uncaged, Unleashed in Space. Mm-hmm. Two women who have been unjustly confined to a prison planet plot their escape, all the while having to put up with lesbian guards, crazed wardens, and mutant rodents.
Fuck, man. Just talking about it, it sounds great.
Yeah. So we got Ross Hagen, Aldo Ray. I think it's like John Carradine might even show up in this fucker as well. He does.
He might.
Like, they're all back. Like, this is one of the
crew's all here.
One of those things I like about Fred Olen Ray. He's doing the thing where it's like, hey, don't just leave those guys on the shelf. Dust them off. Bring them out. Get them some work.
Even Christopher Ray is in here.
Good.
His son.
I mean, does he have a choice?
Well, maybe not. But dust them off. Bring them all back.
So this is a women in prison in space movie. So that's cool. I mean, I guess there's that comic book that probably rips this off a bunch. Bitch Planet.
Oh, was that Kelly Sue DeConnick?
No, different person.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so Star Slammer, it starts off as like a fantasy movie on a planet, and you're like, okay, but it's like Jim Wynorski style Deathstalker antics, but then an alien ship lands, and then it's like a Humvee, not a Humvee. A cheap 1980s equivalent rolls up, and they kidnap people. She kills one of them. She winds up getting captured, brought up to the space station, and most of the rest of the movie takes place on there. So you get to see a whole bunch of sexy girls all hanging out in prison, eating in the cafeteria. Everyone calling each other slut a lot.
Isn't that how you talk to your friends, Jarrett?
Shut up,
I call my friends sluts all the time.
Yeah.
So ignorant slut.
Yeah. Star Slammer. There's a whole lot of that. There's lots of torture. It's by the number stuff. I mean, you could probably get the same kind of experience watching a better woman in prison movie. Like
potentially.
Reform Schoolgirls is way, way, way better. But this movie's got like a charm to it.
It does. Mm-hmm. Much like many of Fred's movies, there is some kind of... He's got some kind of magic, Jarrett.
Yeah.
That just kind of makes you, even though you're like, this isn't good, but I'm going to keep watching. There's something there.
Yeah. It's inoffensive.
Yeah. Yeah, see, I'm remembering this a bit. I do think I took some good screenshots of some of the alien guard people, when I had originally watched this. I remember liking it. It's kind of like you said, like, we both gave it 2.5. It's not bad. If you were looking for this very specific subgenre, there's better. But if this was just on somewhere, you'd be like, it's not good, but I'm gonna keep watching for sure.
Keep watching.
So Star Slammer's not bad.
This lands at number 14.
Number 14 for you.
Yeah.
Pretty high. I got it a little bit lower, but that's also because I did the bad thing. I didn't rewatch it. I got it at 27.
And just think, RJ, I have a 2.5 star movie at 14.
I'm realizing that. Maybe you didn't get out of Fred Olen Ray the same experience that I did. But we'll see. Let's see.
Next, and we're now leaving 1986 onto 1987.
Mm-hmm.
Commando Squad.
Yeah, Commando Squad.
Yeah.
Who's the star of Commando Squad again, Jarrett?
Kathy Shower and Brian Thompson.
See, when you had said Brian Thompson,
a man of 1,000 faces.
Oh yeah. This guy is. I didn't like the name. I was like, who the fuck is Brian Thompson? And then I was like, oh, we talked about him like 2 weeks ago.
And Ross Hagen and we had Ross Tamblyn, Dr. Jacoby from Twin Peaks.
They even got Tamblyn in here.
Tamblin's he's all over these Fred Olen Rays as well. And sometimes I'm always like, oh, this has got like a David Lynch vibe all of a sudden, like when he shows up. This maybe less so, but the big dog shows up in this one. We got Sid Haig.
We do, and I didn't realize he was there until afterwards. And or you didn't say that Sid Haig was in this, and I saw him just pop up, and I went, "Whoa, Sid Haig!"
Mm-hmm.
I went, that's pretty cool.
Can I just say that this movie doesn't live up to the poster?
No, it doesn't. But in its defense, I think this movie actually has some. They go for some effects here. There's cars getting flipped over. There's cars getting exploded. I was on board with some of the stuff that happens here. It's not quite a Commando Squad, but I was like, I did like that they were bazookaing helicopters. There was cars getting flipped, and there at one point there's a chick fight, and there's just a fat guy watching, kind of scratching his tummy. He's just watching them fight each other. I think it's in a bar.
Oh, damn. I'm just looking this up. I'm like, Michael Sawney. Who's this chap? And I'm looking him up. I'm like, oh, yeah, he's particular looking. And he's in a whole bunch of movies I've seen. Like Surf Nazis Must Die, and Nightmare Sisters, and Deathbed, and... Yeah, he's in a few things. And a bunch of Fred Olen Rays.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this I don't mind Commando Squad. I think Commando Squad's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what about Cyclone, RJ, from 1987?
Holy
let me just add, Commando Squad is a hard 20, right in the middle.
I got it at 22.
Okay.
Yeah, but I didn't mind Commando Squad. I thought it was fine.
Yeah.
Did you have a chance to read my review of Cyclone?
I probably did at the time, but I opened that up and you wrote, "So good, I shit my fucking pants."
Yes.
Shit pants pics. It's the only one.
Well, it's the only time it's ever happened, Jarrett.
I noticed you give this a Jarrett Pics tag. That's interesting.
Well, you talked it up before I watched.
Did I though?
I know exactly what you said to me before I watched this. You said when you watch Cyclone, you're gonna shit your fucking pants.
Yeah.
And I said, okay. So then I did watch Cyclone, and it happened.
And it happened. See, that's curious because I think it was more because when I popped this on, I was like, "Oh shit, Wayoon's in this."
Yeah, I realized that too. And even though Jeffrey Combs isn't in it a lot, I appreciated that he was here, and I just liked Cyclone in general. Like,
so this begins the arc of like these guys with horny wives.
Yeah.
And like insatiable ladies.
Yes, and going after dudes like Jeffrey Combs or Combs. I don't know. Wayoon going after dudes like Wayoon.
Yeah. Herbert West.
Really? I liked Cyclone quite a bit. I have it in the number 1 spot, Jared,
I did notice that. That seems high.
It is pretty high, but to be honest, like I'd say the only things I think could beat Cyclone would be potentially Witch Academy, Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers, Spirits. Those, like the top 5, I think, are all kind of at that number 1 spot, if that makes sense. Okay. I would put all those top 5 at the 1 spot, and then everything else comes afterwards. So
okay.
Tell me about Cyclone.
Well, yeah. So my review of Cyclone is So this is Cyclone. Jesus.
It's a pretty normal looking bike. Like there's nothing there's nothing special about it when you see it.
The ultimate team of woman and machine.
Ooh.
Rick has developed the ultimate motorcycle, the Cyclone. It is a $5 million bike equipped with rocket launchers and laser guns. Rick meets his fate, and it is up to his girlfriend, Terry, to keep the Cyclone from falling into the wrong hands. Terry can trust no one but herself. And Terry is played by Heather Thomas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I didn't recognize her from anything else, but I was like, this lady's a star.
She was in Zapped. Apparently at some point. She's like a model lady.
Yeah, it looked like it.
Yeah.
She was good in here too. Like I thought she was pretty good.
Yeah.
She does what she needs to for the role.
Mm-hmm.
So we got the chick, and she's a badass chick, Jared, because she works out and she leaves the gym, and guys give her some shit, and she really roughs them up.
Oh yeah. Oh, we got to mention here that she had her acting career, but she gave up in 1998. Following her acting career, Thomas wrote a screenplay called School Slut and sold it to Touchstone Pictures for a figure reported as mid-six-figure. Touchstone did not make the film, however, and Thomas acquired the rights to produce it herself. And I don't think that's happened, but
was such a film ever made?
No.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
So one other thing that we should also mention is Michelle Bauer is in this as well. And
Yes,
do you know
and
who
the
else
last
is
movie.
in this?
Who?
Your buddy, Martin Landau. That's right. Frank. No, wait. What was Dracula's name again?
Dracula?
Yeah. You know Martin Landau, who we played in Ed Wood?
Yeah. Oh, I
was
see.
what was
Bela
Dracula's-
Lugosi?
Bela Lugosi. Yeah. Hungarian guy. Do you know that?
I heard that. I've heard.
You've heard? Yeah. Yeah, I was surprised to see Martin Landau in this. I was like, really? Martin Landau? What are you doing in here? He plays it good. One thing I like about Cyclone Jared is there's no bullshit. Because when a girlfriend gets rescued by the lady cop, and lady cop is like, all right, listen, if any of you motherfuckers come through the doorway, I'm going to blast you. And then they leave, and dude is like, they're not going to shoot us. They're running away. Let's go get them. And the guy runs out in the hallway, and she blasts him. She kills him dead, Jared. And I went, oh, shit. She made good on her promise. She really did it. She really did it. So I thought that was pretty cool. I liked it. And just in general,
It's, you know what though, if you want to watch like motorcycle movies or like super vehicles, watch The Wraith.
I mean, I do want to watch The Wraith. I thought The Wraith was about a car though, like a
It's
muscle.
about but it is a super vehicle.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's the only downside to Cyclone is I wish it had more scenes of the bike doing cool stuff, because it doesn't really it shoots some lasers
At the very end.
at the very end, and it's fine. I was there for it. I was like, yeah, I'm on board with these lasers.
I was there for it.
I was there for it. But I do wish it did some cooler stuff, if you know what I mean.
So Cyclone for me, RJ, lands at number 11.
That's a little bit back. Yeah. Well, they can't all be shit pants picks, if you know what I mean. But we'll see where Witch Academy lands.
We'll see.
For you. But I do think my top 5 or 6, I think they could all be taken together.
Okay.
If that makes sense. Yeah.
Next, Evil Spawn from 1987.
Yeah.
Which is a not single Fred. This is like 3 people worked on this. Fred Olen Ray, Ted Newsom, and Kenneth J. Hall.
I didn't really realize that. If it was in the credits, I probably missed it. But
yeah, it's a compilation of things. Like someone got fired off of it, I think, and Fred might have finished it off because he was producing it. Something along those lines.
Yeah. So
Okay.
tell me about Evil Spawn.
Okay, so a tagline. Tonight, she will love again and kill again. And
I mean, yeah, she does.
microbes are brought back to Earth via a space probe from Venus. A scientist is using them in experiments on aging, but dies before the work is finished. So, his assistant approaches an aging actress who is being passed by for the lead roles, and she injects the serum, hoping to become young again. When the actress is still passed up for the plum roles, the alien bacterium transforms her into a hideous bug-like alien, resulting in a predictable attrition problem amongst her detractors.
Well, I mean, isn't that just how it always goes, Jarrett? Story as old as time.
Story as old as time. So did you recognize Bobby Brezzi?
Bobby Brezzi. Which one is Bobby Brezzi?
She's the lead.
Do I have no idea who this lady is.
She was in Mausoleum.
Oh, and surf Nazis? Man, there's a lot of surf Nazis cast in these things.
Yeah.
And Ghoulies?
And Ghoulies.
Ghoulies. I did not recognize her, but
Okay.
I did like her.
So she kind of was trying to get into the acting game because she was married to some rich guy, I believe.
Fred?
No.
Michael Berryman?
Well, he could be very well off. Wow,
David Carradine?
her IMDb entry refers to her as buxom and beautiful.
What does buxom mean, Jarrett?
I don't know. She's got it going on in all the right places.
Oh wow. Oh wow. So, I think Jay Richardson is in this one. Yeah. So this is where that guy that I was talking about, who's in a ton of these ones, he's in this one too. He's always playing like he's either an actor or a producer or the bad guy, Jay Richardson, which is interesting. Hideous bug-like aliens. So I got to tell you, Jared, Evil Spawn, I have at 7 on my list.
Well, Frank Brezzi was born in 1929, died in 2018. He co-produced Evil Spawn.
Mm-hmm.
There's no real information on this, but I do recall reading something about that this guy was like well off enough, and she was like, I want it. I want an acting career. And she was a one-time Playboy bunny.
Ooh. I'm on board with that.
Yeah.
So Evil Spawn, I actually think is a pretty decent movie.
Yeah, it's kind of it's Wasp Woman.
Yeah.
But for the 1980s set, I think it's better than the Roger Corman remake thing from like whatever it was with Rainn Wilson.
Oh, I didn't watch that one, but I think you did, or
I tried to.
You tried to, yeah. No, yeah, like so I know about Wasp Women, but I haven't. I never watched the remake ones, but I like this because you got an agent starlet. She's just trying to kind of bring it back. She's losing out on roles. She kind of wants to, freshen things up a little bit, Jared. Freshen things up a little bit.
And I think this is the movie where John Carradine just dies. Maybe.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
This one might be it. I do like in this one, like that the buildup of or like just the explanation of the monsters, where it's just like it's an alien and it'll make you young, but it'll turn you into a bug sometimes. And then they're like, all right, whatever, no big deal.
When she goes to confront her manager, who is leading her on the whole time, and she's like, I'm going to lock the door and make you pay. And then you turn into a giant bug monster like an anime. And then at the end of it, you just go back to normal.
Well, I mean, that is how it works, Jared.
You wouldn't just stay the bug. You can go back into your human form.
Yeah,
you alternate. It's nonsense.
You alternate. I do like that this movie is very much like, it's like maybe our worship of celebrity and youth and beauty is the real monster. You ever heard of the real monsters, Jared?
Really makes you think.
A lot of people have sex in this movie.
Yeah, that does happen in these films. And you know what's going to happen more of? More of that as these films proceed.
Did you there's a good bit of that. Did you also get the introduction from Fred before this movie?
Yes.
Yeah. It's strangely like in your face, hey?
Mm-hmm.
Where he's like, yeah, I'm a Hollywood director. When I'm not living in one of my many mansions with my many pools, I'm hanging out with fabulous, beautiful women. And you're just like, man, this guy's really laying into it. Like,
I think it's a little tongue in cheek.
I mean, I realize that, but me, RJ, I take things seriously, Jerry, and I'm just like, man, this guy's really living large.
Oh yeah. Big time. And there's
he really did it.
Tits are all over the place on that intro.
A little bit. Yeah. A little bit.
Just a touch.
Yeah. But no, I liked Evil Spawn. I thought it was actually pretty good. I like out of these movies, I was like, I like this story. It's good. It's good
I got this at number 10.
So we're not too far off there.
Yeah.
Not too far off. I liked it a little bit more than you.
But that's good.
Yeah,
how about that Phantom Empire? From 1988.
Phantom Empire. Are you... Yeah, okay.
When a man-eating cave creature appears with a fortune in uncut diamonds around his neck, Dr. Chambers' daughter, Dina, hires adventurers C&C Salvage to find the underground source of the gems. Accompanied by archaeological intern Andrew Paris, meteorologist Professor Strzok, and CNC scruffy owners Cord Eastman and Eddie Callchild, Dina's hopes of emerging from her famous father's shadow become as remote as getting out of the caves alive.
I mean, that's a pretty remote chance, Jared.
So we got Ross Hagen, Jeffrey Combs, Susan Stokey, Sybil Danning, Michelle Bauer, Russ Tamblyn, Michael Sawney.
Wow.
Mike William Smith shows up in none of this stuff too.
Yes, he does.
No.
The gang's all here again.
They're all here, and they're all in the California Pass, wherever that fuck is. That's one thing. No matter what alien world you go to, be it Star Trek, Phantom Empire, you're always in Southern California.
They're always there.
Conveniently.
Yes. I would say that out of all of the well, not out of all of them, but Phantom Empire has it all.
It does have it all.
It's got it all.
But does it perhaps bite off more than it can chew?
I mean, there is a point near the end, like 10 minutes, where I think they're like trying to get away, and then something weird happens, and it like totally shifts, and I was just like, wait a minute. I was like, how did this happen? Like, but it's one of those things where I think they didn't really know what to do, so they're like, we're just gonna stop it here, and then they're like, well, we'll dust our hands of this.
Well, this is definitely Fred Olen Ray's love letter to 1930s serials, and condensing it down into like a 90-minute movie, and be like, yeah, whatever, fuck it.
Yeah, it's all there. You got scientists, Indiana Jones. You got the Mole Men. You got Bikini Cave Woman. Center of the Earth. Temporal Dispersions. Lost World Dinosaurs. Breasty Alien Women, Jarrett.
Yeah, who are like dominatrixy.
Yeah, she's a serious chick too. You know what I mean?
It's like Ilsa, she-wolf of the SS.
Wow.
That's her.
Yeah, it's her. I liked Phantom Empire. I have it at number 10.
I have it at 18.
Okay.
But it's a good. I mean, that's probably might be the bottom of the good movies.
Yeah, and again, it's not actually a great movie or anything like that. But no. We can't really use that register here for what we do. But in terms of all of these movies, I was just like, I like this. He's bringing in a little bit of all of the things he plays around with, and then later, eventually, he kind of focuses on one of those aspects, like later when he does Dinosaur Island. That's kind of like part of this in a sense. But this one has it all.
Dinosaurs. He likes his claymation dinosaurs.
Who doesn't? I do. But yeah, I thought Phantom Empire was not bad. I liked him.
Not bad. So this is like, his 1987 was the Commando Squad, Cyclone, Evil Spawn. 1988, Phantom Empire. But he had 4 movies in 88? He's just getting more and more movies out there, like Warlords. Starring David Carradine.
So you tell me about Warlords, because and then I'll tell you about Warlords.
So the synopsis here is: in a brutal radioactive future, fearless warrior Dow is humanity's last hope against the warlord and his mutant hordes. With the gorgeous deadly Danny and the strange Ammo at his side, Dow makes desperate war on the fierce desert savages who threaten to overrun the world. Courage and resourcefulness on a heroic scale lead to a final bitter triumph in this epic action bitter triumph in this epic action adventure in future tense.
How many times did they say epic action adventure?
Twice.
That's a little too much.
But this has got a spelling error in it because they repeated it twice. But
well, it's kind of like saying warlords instead of warlords. So I think this movie has a lot of good things. I like seeing Carradine drive around, smoking and drinking. I thought that was cool. I was like, I'm on board with this. But the mutants are also cool, but then at the same time, this one has, I felt like, a lot more extended scenes than some of the other ones, where things
very extended.
Things really get drawn out on this one, and I was just like, oh.
Yeah, it's pretty. I'm a fan of not Mad Max movies. I'm a fan of post-apocalypses. I'm a fan of mutants,
Fallout?
roving mutants. Fallout's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I like Sid Haig.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah. Once again, we got David Carradine, Don Wildsmith, Sid Haig, Ross Hagen, Brink Stevens. Actually, I think this is the very first appearance of Brink Stevens, who we see a whole fucking lot of.
Is it Brink or Brinky? I honestly don't know. In my head I always went Brinky, but I don't know if that's right.
It would be Brink. I'm pretty sure.
Brink. I'll take your word for
Michelle
it.
Bauer.
They're all here. Yeah, Brink Stevens. She is here a lot, Jared. A lot, Jared. A lot.
But yeah, this is pretty forgettable
It
stuff.
It is, unfortunately, just because I think it's got good intentions.
But it seems like there's a lot of time in tents, people being kept captive.
Yeah, the threat of rape is ever present in this one. There's also that one dude, like the leader of the mutants. That's this one, right? Where he's like,
yes,
he's like trying to get freaky, but he keeps getting interrupted, and you're just like I don't really want them to come back to this. I don't think I need to see this guy get down and dirty. I don't think.
No. I got this at 29.
Where do I have? I got it at 30, Jared.
Wow, we're pretty good
Number
here.
30, so we're pretty close.
All right. So yeah, this was kind of a letdown.
Yeah.
For desert action.
But the next one,
Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers.
Mm-hmm. I mean, with a title like that, Jared, it's too big to fail.
So this is got to be his most famous movie.
I agree. Yeah.
No. Like the one that probably it's got like so much appeal to it. Like I remember this cover. It's crazy looking. It probably for a title, imagery, and it's weird because this is just like another H.G. What's his name? H.G. Lewis filmmaker who did like the Blood Diner thing that got remade. This is like another one of these where it's it's a secret cult, pseudo-Egyptian cult, blood cults, people being killed grotesquely, but for the 80s set.
Yes. Yeah, I was when I had first watched this, I was surprised by the Egyptian spin on the end, where I was kind of like looking at it now. I was like, well, I think they just needed something, so they just kind of threw it in there for whatever. But it's like, I think this would be a lot stronger movie if they didn't have that in there.
Yes.
But you do get, like, I think the intro to this movie is pretty great with Michelle Bauer with her John and getting the plastic out and doing her dance and stuff. So I think the intro to Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers is pretty good. It lives up to the name, and then after that, I think it kind of floats a little bit.
I mean, part of it is like it's got this snarky film noir narration over it, where there's a constant reminder that whatever it is, Jay Richardson, Jack Chandler, like Raymond Chandler, RJ. He's a private dick, and he's on the case, and he lets you know all the time that, hey, you're watching a movie. Don't take it too seriously, you guys. When I run into the leader of the chainsaw cult, played by Gunnar Hansen, Leatherface himself.
Whoa. And how did you feel about that?
I thought that's pretty cool. That's smart. That's like pretty smart for Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers.
It was, and like that's the thing about Fred. I feel like he's paying homage, some would say, to certain things that he likes, and hey, it's nice of him to include people like Gunnar, because no one else was. Well, I mean, not no one, but you know what I mean. Like, I don't think there was a ton of people knocking on his door to come and hang out with him and be in their movies.
What, like Repligator? Chainsaw Sally?
Well, but yeah, I think Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers is pretty good, and I believe it was maybe the first Fred movie I watched. Like,
probably
in the grand scheme of things, because it's his most popular, I think, for sure. It's all in that name.
RJ, I got this at number 3.
Jarrett, I have this at number 3 also.
What?
That is neat. Yeah, well, it's like I said, I just updated my list.
You sound so soft on it, though. You don't sound very enthusiastic in talking about it. Yeah, you say it drifts. It kind of floats off.
A little. I think it does a little bit, but it's. I do think it's just the Egyptian stuff. It drifts a little bit for me. I do like everything else around it. I do like the PI stuff, and it's like I said, I really like the intro. I think the intro is awesome. Like I think it really sets the stage. I don't know if I told you, but or I don't know if I mentioned it before, but I originally tried watching this with Andrea, like during an October or something, and I was like, I think you'll like this one. It's called Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers, and we watched like 5 minutes. She's like, I'm leaving. Not that there's anything like it's not like hardcore porn or anything like that. She's like, nah.
But this is also, again, the beginnings of Fred's pursuit into softcore. But the sex here is with a purpose, as the people are sex workers.
Exactly. So it's kosher.
Kosher.
In a sense. Yeah.
Good.
Tell me about one of the worst soundtracks you've ever heard.
Deep Space from 1988. It's like Deep Space 8.
Where is Deep Space 8? Where are the other Deep Spaces?
They're out there. I think Deep Space 3 or 5 get brought up in Next Generation.
They do bring them up once in a while, but like...
Yeah. I mean, they're having their own adventures. But that's for the Criterion podcast, where we talk about Star Trek. So Deep Space, they created a monster over lunch. Now it's back for dinner. Secretly engineered and blasted into space by government scientists, a vile monster crash lands back on Earth and begins killing everyone it encounters. As the death toll rises, veteran cop Mick Lemore barely steps forward to crush the scary creature. So we got my man Charles Napier, one of my favorite dudes. He shows up in this. We got Ann Turkle. We got Bo Svensson as the crusty cop captain.
Who doesn't like Bo Svensson?
We got Julie Newmar. Come on.
Which is pretty cool.
Fox Harris is always in these. Don Wildsmith, Susan Stokey, Bob Ivy, Fred Olen Ray somewhere in there.
Workman 2. You don't remember his top-notch performance as Workman 2?
I don't.
Oh, okay. Interesting. So, so here's my thing with Deep Space.
Yeah. So, okay, go on.
I think Deep Space is a pretty good alien transplant, where it's alien but on Earth, and I think they do a lot of things right, but I was really bothered by the repeating
It's awesome.
Over and over and over and over. So it just really angered me, Jarrett, a lot. But I think up to that, it's not a bad little alien ripoff.
I got this RJ at number 2.
Holy shit. That's pretty substantial.
I really enjoyed this.
That's good.
Yeah, I mean, yes, the score is like ridiculous at the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything comes together pretty decently. This is not good. It's not a good movie, but I think it's the one I've enjoyed the most of the whole package, because Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers, as you mentioned, has got the stupid Egyptian stuff.
Yeah.
Everything at the warehouse at the end of that movie is kind of like, what? Yeah. I don't need this. This is it's like kind of dumb comedy stuff, but the movie is kind of a dumb comedy.
Yeah.
Deep Space is, I think, Fred really shooting. And it's probably I think it's his best movie of the 80s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's going for it, man, and like that's the thing. Like I do think it is it's a good little rip off of Alien, and I think they did it right where it's not like on a spaceship like some of the other Alien rips, where like they transplant it a little bit, and it's a little they have a little bit more room to play with it in that sense. And I don't know if I have any other notes about it. I thought it was like a decent movie. I hated the screeching score that just repeats over and over again. It really I was just I think I was sitting here by myself at like 11 at night, and it was just Yeah, and I was like, I fucking hate this.
Well, it's at the very end it gets out of hand.
It's at the end.
Because every time the alien attacks.
So I have it at 21.
What?
Yeah, and it's because of that. So we were a little bit different there, Jared. But I will give you, I do think it's a decent movie as a whole. But so that's what I mean. We're a little bit different, but I do like my top 15. I enjoy all of them. Where it's like I would watch these movies again potentially one day. So
but not. But
no, I would never. But like if someone was like, hey, should I watch one of these? I'd be like, yeah, sure, throw that shit on, go for it.
That's what it's all about. What about Terminal Force, RJ? With this sweet ass poster.
Okay, I'm gonna blow your mind. You're gonna be mad at me. I have Terminal Force at 16.
That's fine because the poster's awesome.
The poster is awesome. Yeah.
When words just get in the way. Renegade cop Nick Tyree gets suspended after blowing away a liquor store robber who interrupts his alcohol purchase. His hot-headed chief wants him back when the young daughter of a key witness against mob boss Johnny Ventura is kidnapped because Tyree's law-pushing ways are the only solution. So this is Richard Harrison, who I don't know if you're familiar with. He's one of those guys that showed up in a lot of Italian movies.
Oh, what kind of role did he have in the Italian movies?
Well, let's pull it up here.
This is the one and only Richard Harrison film I have seen.
I've watched 5, but he was in Vengeance. I'm not sure about Ninja the Protector, if that's
it sounds
Italian
cool
or not. Mad Dog, maybe. Of course, he's in Empire of the Dark. Of course he is. Blood Debts. He shows up in the Eurocrime documentary. He's in Ninja Terminator.
Man, just listen to all these ninja films.
Ninjas. Diamond Ninja.
Terminator. Ninja the Protector. Yeah,
Ninja Champion.
Ninja Champion. Ninja Squad.
Look at Rescue Force. Look
Ninja
at that
Dragon,
poster.
Black Ninja.
That's
Rescue
badass.
Force has a cool poster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't get this.
This guy.
Richard. I don't get it. Someone's going to have to explain this one to me. So he's the hero. He's the big, piece of shit. Mm-hmm. Oh, look, Jay Richardson. Oh, Cleve Hall. All our friends are back once and more.
See, this is the one I think I got. Or no, it's in the next one that I got that screenshot of Jay Richardson. He's the guy who looks like Bill Romanowski to me. I think. But,
yeah. So this movie has one thing going for it.
What's that?
And that is the character of Leonard.
Leonard's a pretty rad dude. That bow tie.
So Leonard, I'm trying to remember the name of the guy who's actually playing Leonard.
Oh, I'll find it.
Cleve Hall. So he's a makeup guy. He's a makeup guy.
Yes, he is.
And he's dead.
He had a TV show. He died?
Nope.
Oh, I didn't know that. I actually watched his show. It was like a special effects show with Cleve Hall, and I remember it wasn't bad. He's a pretty interesting dude.
But here's Leonard. He's a man. He's rocking the T-shirt, trench coat, bolo tie on the T-shirt.
Yes.
And he's a creep.
Oh yeah, he's creeping pretty good. I also like it's not just that he's a creep, but he's also the way he talks. He's like, man, it's lucky you ran into me today. I'm gonna really treat you right. I'm really gonna tell you the way things are, and it just he encapsulates pretty much everything that I think our current society's males are encountering nowadays.
Okay.
If you know what I mean, Jarrett. If you know what I mean, Jarrett.
A creep. He's just a creep. That's the word for it. Yeah.
Is there another word with an I?
I don't remember fucking much about Terminal Force. I think it's the Jay Johnson guy who shows up and he's wearing like quite the pair of ball huggers on him, and he's like kind of like bending over and like confronting people face to face, and you're just like, oh, could you put some proper pants on? Because does this movie end with like it's like in a suburban home and he's hauling in the bad guy, and the bad guy's like, oh, you're gonna have to kill me if you want to take me in.
And he does. Yeah, no, that's Terminal Force. So it's the cop who you're introduced to him in the liquor store, and he blows that dude away, and they're like, you can't just do that. And he's like, he was robbing the place. What you want me to do? Not be a cop? And then a daughter or girl gets kidnapped. So he has to, they're like, hey, listen, you're suspended. You're the perfect guy to go after this. He's like, I'll go after it. Yeah. So he goes after, tries to find him. He runs around with all these dudes like Cleve Hall. And then, eventually it just kind of gets to that point where there's like a shootout at the house. And then he goes in and, the Jay Richardson guy, he's like, you want to take me and you got to kill me. And he's like, all right. And he just kills him.
I'm Richard Harrison.
And you're like, that's cool.
Not Richard Harris.
Yeah. This kind of reminded me of that book I read about the Vietnam vet who was hunting vampires. So that's why I was like, this movie could have used a vampire. Like, I feel like Cleve Hall's character, if he was just a vampire, they wouldn't have even had to explain it. He could have just been a vampire, right? I think. I would have been. I would have.
That would have been way cooler.
If he was just a vampire. And that was it.
Yeah.
I would have liked that. But yeah, Terminal Force isn't bad.
It's where do I even have it on my list? I kind of bumped it. I've been moving around some stuff, so maybe the numbers won't match up if you're keeping track. But I've already made it public for someone who wants to really know. But RJ, you won't be surprised, right?
Yeah, I'm not going to look.
19.
Oh yeah, so we're not too far off.
Yep.
Not too far off. Nice.
It's all because of Leonard.
It's all he's a cool dude.
Closing out 1980s.
Okay.
Ole Ray. We got Beverly Hills Vamp.
Yeah. Yeah, we do. Tell me about Beverly Hills Vamp, Jarrett.
Well,
tell me about your favorite actor.
Two taglines: a comedy with a bite, and no sex is safe tonight. Kyle, Brock, and Russell are three aspiring filmmakers new in Hollywood. Mm-hmm. They phone up an escort ad and take a trip to a Beverly Hills mansion, but unfortunately for them, the call girls turn out to be fiendish vixens of the undead.
Yeah, they do. They sure did. They sure did, Jared.
Yeah, so this was my introduction to Eddie Deason.
And what did you think of Mr. Deason?
This shit sucks, RJ.
I like this movie.
I fucking hate this thing. Fuck, what do I
have it at number 8.
I have it 39.
Okay. Yeah. Is it just because of Eddie Deason?
No, it's just like, this is not funny stuff. This sucked. Yeah. This is brutal. It's like these three guys are all rapists. This is like...
God.
Yeah, they're gross dudes. Everything about this is like what I don't like in kind of these dude comedies. I don't think anything of it's inspired. It's just like pointlessly like extended. We're like, oh, they're vampires, but now they're not in the house. Gotta do the fake out where the police come and you're like, you're wasting my time, kid. And I'm just like, I don't need any of this. I don't need any of it.
Maybe you do need some of it, Trevor. Maybe
I don't need Tom Shell, Tim Conway Jr.
So some of the parts that I liked about Beverly Hills Vamp is mostly I really like the introduction with the weather lady talking about raining blood on Los Angeles because the vampires are coming, and then I like the guy who is like opening the movie and narrating. And he's just talking, and he's just like, he's talking to the audience. He's like, you're a real piece of shit for watching this movie. You know that? He's like, yeah, I'm talking to you, chump. I was like, I like this guy. He's fun. I also thought this movie had a good harmonica.
Yeah. So the problem with this is, of course, up to this point, Fred Olen Ray has not done a comedy, and this would be like a horror comedy, which is something I don't like very much. I know. So this was not going to be a good time. But you know what? It's going to get worse.
A little bit. Maybe when you see our friend again.
Yeah, maybe. So 1990.
Mm-hmm.
The year you were born, RJ.
Allegedly.
Maybe you were even conceived while your parents watched Beverly Hills Vamp, for all we know.
Could have been. I don't know. It's a quality film, so
they all got horned up. They're like, "Baby, let's have another one."
Oh my god!
Alienator.
Mm-hmm. Tell me about Alienator, Jared.
Man, I don't even know what to think about this thing. An android hunter from outer space is about to create hell on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Cole is an evil guy about to be executed on a distant spaceship. He manages to escape on a shuttle and make his way to some woods in America. The commander of the spaceship decides to send out the Alienator to execute Cole at all costs. Cole meets up with some teens and Ward Armstrong, and together they all try not to get killed by the pursuing Woman of Death, the Alienator.
Fucking right.
Yeah.
Goddamn right, Jared.
So what do we got here? We got Jan Michael Vincent as commander.
Sure.
John Philip Law as Ward Armstrong. We have Tegan Clive, bodybuilder. She's the Alienator.
Mm-hmm.
PJ Souls. We all know PJ Souls, right?
Who doesn't?
You all seen that Halloween, right?
Is she from, or is that person from Halloween?
I think so, yeah. I think that's her, and Carrie.
Oh, and Devil's Rejects, apparently.
Yeah, of course she is.
Of course.
And all your favorites. They're all back because it's Fred Olen Ray. So yeah, this was a movie that it's been on my radar for a while because this cover jumps out at you.
Oh yeah. This cover sends a message real fast. It's like an evil guy.
But you don't really quite know what's going on because you're just like, who's this like hair metal guy
with tits?
Well, I never really noticed that those were tits until I was watching the movie, and then I went, whoa.
Yeah, it does look like a hair metal guy.
Yeah, that's some big hair on a dude, and this dude looks jacked, but it turns out that dude is a woman. She's a bodybuilder lady. That
dude is a woman.
Dude
looks like a lady. Is that what you're going for?
So, this movie's got a second tagline too here. In deep space, the deadliest animal is still woman.
I like that. See, Fred just knew what he was doing. He just knew people like to have fun talking about my wife and, women. Am I right?
Well, RJ, all I really have to say about this is I wish it were better.
I mean, I thought Alienator was not bad. It does, again, like many of these movies, I think it has a great idea. Like an alien bounty hunter going to a cabin in the woods where people are secluded sounds awesome. Does it land as well as you'd want? Not quite. But I think Alienator is pretty rad. I like Alienator. You got a badass chick. She's just blasting dudes, vaporizing shit, blowing shit up.
And just the thing with like the calibrating of the voice modulator or whatever to speak English.
Yeah, that's cool too.
Yeah. It's allegedly cool.
I like that.
I got this at 26 on my list.
Oh, I did some shuffling, and it is now number 8 for me.
Wow.
I liked Alienator. I thought it was fun. I think this is the start of what I've come to know now is that Fred Olen Ray is the absolute master of disjunctive credits. So the opening credits hit at 13 minutes in this one, but he also does a thing, and it's more noticeable later, but he does this thing where it's like he'll show you a couple credits and then it'll cut to the movie for like 30 seconds and then the credits will come back and then it'll cut to the movie and then cut to the credits, and it just goes back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, Jared. He's just a master of that. He does it all the time. He's a master of something.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
I think there's a cool idea, and I do know what you mean where it's like you wish it was better. I mean, that's kind of the theme of the month. I wish it was a little better, but I think Alienator is decent for what it is. If you're looking for that kind of thing,
is anybody looking for that kind of thing?
We watched it. So
well, I mean, because you have to watch Fred Olen Ray in order. You got to watch everything.
I mean, do we?
Well, I basically got to up till when did I stop? Star Hunter, and then my interest is like, oh, more of these movies, more of these erotic thrillers with no money.
Yeah, and then his new guy, the porn guy. Who,
yes,
we'll get to when we get there.
Yeah,
not a fan of the porn guy.
Is that Tim Abel?
Tim Abel, who was in a Mel Gibson movie, apparently.
Oh yeah. He gets down, doesn't he? So
He gets
anyway, we'll get there.
Yeah.
Haunting Fear from 1990.
Yes.
Dying isn't the worst thing that can happen. Brink Stevens, Jan Michael Vincent, Jay Richardson, Karen Black, Robert Quarry, Michael Berryman.
Whoa. They're all there again.
A woman is plagued by dreams of being buried alive, while her adulterous husband, steeped in gambling debts, hatches a scheme to drive her mad and murder her to acquire her fortune.
So
y'all know about Edgar Allan Poe?
I've heard.
So this is like a total callback to Roger Corman movies, essentially.
Yeah,
like,
it is.
Because it's like, I'm like, it's this again. It's the it's the burial stuff.
Telltale Heart type stuff.
Yep. So this is like, I feel like Fred is trying to do like a straight movie.
Yes.
He's trying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think for the most part it plays out like that. Like it is played pretty straight. For better or worse. Like I do think this thing drags a little bit, but I actually liked Haunting Fear. I thought it had some cool stuff in there too. It's a bit heavy on the fake outs also. Like there's a bit too much, but like that first fake out where like if it hadn't cut like faked out, if it just had been like she was dead but couldn't move, I was like, that would have been a pretty cool movie just on its own. They should just did that.
And then she becomes a possessed thing.
She does become a possessed thing. Which I was on board with. I liked Haunting Fear. I thought it was good. Like
not bad.
In terms,
like in terms of
relative
of FOR.
Yeah. It's all relative, but in that sense, I was like, yeah, Haunting Fear is not bad. I was like, I think that he's got cool ideas here, but I think he doesn't quite know how to do things in a certain sense. So I thought Haunting Fear was okay.
You know what's got some ideas?
Your favorite movie of the month?
Mob Boss from 1990.
Can I guess? Is this last on your list, Jared?
That would be correct, RJ.
Yeah.
Oh, I should say Haunting Fear 17.
Oh, I got it at 6.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah. Mob Boss is not good.
Not quite.
The last thing a dying mobster needs is a son who thinks money laundering needs detergent. Bam. This movie's got William Hickey.
Yeah.
And it's got Morgan Fairchild.
Yeah, it does, which is
Don Stroud, who's cool.
Bizarre.
Brink Stevens, Dick Miller. Nick Marino.
Which one's Nick Marino?
You know Nick. Big Nick. Jay Richardson. He's back.
Oh, gotcha.
Jazzy's in it. Tegan Clive. She tosses I think she tosses Eddie. Yeah, and Eddie Deason. Eddie Deason's back, baby. Doing the D's. In
a lead role, no less.
Well, he was the lead in the other movie too. But
oh yeah, that's true actually.
Garbage. Fuck this shit. I hate it. I'm glad there's only fucking 2 of them.
Yeah. This one's pretty bad.
It's awful. It's such shit. It looks like shit. It's not funny ever. There's like this opening too. It's like I don't know. Like I feel like Fred Olen Ray is not that bad of a director where he wouldn't know how to do comedy whatsoever. Where when like William Hickey sits down with the other mob bosses, but they're like making these jokes where it's like the other Dons, like Don McDougal, Don Yamamoto. I'm like, I get it. They're not Italian, but it's played so so straight. It's beyond like it couldn't be read as comedy. But you're like, is that like that's the joke, right?
I guess. I think that's what he was going for.
Oh, it is, but it's just like, it just does not work. It's so there's no music. There's no like. It doesn't look like a comedy. It doesn't sound like one. It just the material is like handled so bad. Like, this is wretched stuff. And I am pretty sure that I will never have to see anything involving Eddie Deason again because I don't need to watch Grease. I don't need to see The Polar Express. I don't need to see War Games. This
You've never seen War Games?
Nope.
Okay, what about Critters 2 though?
I don't need to see Critters 2. Critters 1.
What about 1941?
It was directed by Steven Spielberg. Oh, good. I definitely don't need to see that.
That's supposed to be a decent movie.
Laser Blast I would watch.
Laser Blast. I think I've seen Laser Blast. That's pretty decent.
Zapped's got
I haven't.
Zapped's got one of those cool 80s covers. Surf 2. The Whoopie Brothers. The Whoopie Boys.
What about Silence of the Hams?
Oh.
Can I tell you something? Do you want to know how many Eddie Deason movies I've seen?
How many?
8.
Oh.
8. I've seen a lot of... Well, I mean, Rock-a-Doodle, the Elvis Rooster movie. I don't know what Eddie Deason was. It's an animated. He was probably just some random character in there. That's a pretty sick movie. But also Spy Hard, the Leslie Nielsen movie, Jarrett. That's you might watch that one day.
Nope.
You don't want to watch Spy Hard?
No, I'm good.
But it's directed by Rick Friedberg.
Oh, man. Yeah, I wasn't going to watch this,
him.
but then Sam Sanchez demanded it.
Mob Boss?
Yeah.
Did he actually?
Well, he said, I want to hear what you guys think about Eddie Deason. And I noticed that he's given these 1 star and 1.5 star.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Mob Boss is pretty bad.
Yeah.
Like,
I may or may not have stopped watching it not that far in, but that's fine because it's complete garbage.
Well, you missed at the end the breaking the fourth wall, Jerry, when Eddie Deason comes out and says, "You still here? Get out of here, you bum."
That is something that happens a lot in these movies, is fourth wall breaking.
Mm-hmm. Looking at the camera.
Yeah, characters just turn and go, huh?
Yeah, this movie sucks ass, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy that Morgan Fairchild is in this. It's why?
Is this the movie at the bottom of your list?
You know what? I don't know, like, because Air Rage is pretty bad, but Mob Boss might be worse. Yeah, I don't know. I did a bad thing. I started with Air Rage, which I shouldn't have, but yeah, Mob Boss is pretty fucking bad, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike its follow-up,
Spirits.
Yeah.
From 1990. 1990 is a hell of a year.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is.
We're up to 5 movies in 1 year.
Yeah, man, fuck, he was busy.
So I mean, this is total RG material. A priest, trying to regain his standing in the church after falling and sleeping with a woman, teams with a group of ESP experts to investigate a haunted house. It doesn't help that one of the experts is a beautiful young woman. Ooh. This stars Eric Estrada. I think, like, so he's from Chips.
Yeah, do you not know Eric Estrada?
Well, I do, but he's not a good actor, right? Like, he's really bad.
He was, even on Chips, he was just there for his hair, I think.
So there's the one movie I've seen with him in it that's actually pretty cool. It's called Light Blast.
That sounds cool.
That one's, like, not bad, but he's definitely, like, the weakest link.
He is, and it's unfortunate, too, because, like, I feel like they got him to have some kind of like face recognition, face value, but he is definitely the low point on this, which is too bad because I think the rest of Spirits is pretty good, man. I like Spirits. I think it's good. It's good stuff. We got Michelle Bauer as Sister Mary. We got Brink Stevens in there doing her thing.
Mm-hmm.
This is some Catholic guilt exorcism for you. I also thought it was kind of like a Amityville Horror, a little bit, because you have like the possession stuff within the houses and all that. I think, what else did I say? Oh, I think the basement in this is the same basement as Evil Tunes, but I can't confirm that. But I think it's the same one.
Yeah, so this one's got some good possessions.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
It gets very.
The nail scene is I actually thought was pretty well done.
Well, is this the one with the lich at the end? Like the skeleton man? Does that happen at the end of this one?
Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know.
Because this was also like, I don't know, for some reason I was gonna like to not watch these two, but then I was like, oh, I'm doing it all, so fuck it. Yeah, this one's got it's got a really cool lich at the end. That like it's like the necromancer in the basement in the well.
Right.
Yeah, that costume was pretty wicked. But yeah, so I mean, I still like don't rank these movies particularly high because it's horror movies. And it's like they're not great, and they're worse than his like Biohazard. So I have Spirits at 16. Just,
I got Spirits. What?
Just ahead of Haunting Fear.
Oh, okay. So I have it just ahead of Haunting Fear 2 at number 5.
Wow.
But this is, as you pointed out, this is very in my wheelhouse.
Yes.
It's very niche for me, but yeah, I like Spirits. I thought it was good, except for Eric Estrada.
Well, I think like 1990 is like a very good year, other than Mob Boss.
Well, we had Alienator, Haunting Fear, Spirits, and Bad Girls from Mars.
Bad Girls from Mars.
Mm-hmm.
And you thought Earth Girls were easy.
Ooh.
Remember that? You seen that movie?
I have seen Earth Girls Are Easy. Like when I was a little kid.
Someone is killing off the female leads of the movie production Bad Girls from Mars. See, they swerved you. You thought this movie was going to be a sci-fi, but it's actually a meta film.
This is very meta, and I just to read my review here, a movie about making movies that are essentially porn, which is in itself a movie that is essentially porn, which is just vintage Fred Olen Ray, I believe. Yeah.
The producers feel they should try to finish the film, even though they're making a lucrative amount from insurance payoffs, because it's like this is Spinal Tap action where the lead actresses just keep dying.
Yep.
So they fly in European sex bomb Emmanuel as the new lead. Ooh. Emmanuel immediately begins embarrassing the producers by leading a wild party life around town. Meanwhile, the killings continue, and detectives try to stop the fiend responsible. So this movie's like dumb.
Yeah,
it's dumb as shit. Eddie Williams is just basically falling out of her clothes for like an hour. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's just like always. Yeah, this movie's very horny. Mm-hmm. And this is like kind of the beginning of the horny era, I think officially.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because, especially the next movie. Good Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. Where do I have this? I have this actually at 13.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, this is
it's
somewhere.
Not too bad.
It's up there with Cyclone Scalps, Star Slammer. So I like this more than Spirits and Haunting Fear, because it's like it's doing the dumb comedy right, as opposed with not as well as say Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers, but I don't know. It was very Hollywoody. Fred Olen Ray making jokes, working out his issues. I guess working out thoughts he's had.
He's working out something.
Yeah, and getting those ladies who are horned up.
They were what? Sorry?
Horned up.
Yes, they were. They were definitely horned up. Yeah, I think Bad Girls from Mars is it's exactly what it is trying to be, which I appreciate. It also has some pretty killer lines like no room on Mars for limp dicks. And then right before she tried to blow my dick off. So some pretty killer lines. Yeah. And then Jay Richardson is watching himself on Terminal Force on TV.
Yes.
Which is a pretty good touch.
One of these movies, and I'm not sure if it was Evil Spawn, but Dick Miller, he's watching himself on TV too in one of these movies because he's watching Little Shop of Horrors. Oh yeah, sorry, not Little Shop. Yeah, Bucket of Blood, and he's sitting there grousing about it.
It's in or is that it's in the one where the girls are cleaning the house. Evil Tunes.
Oh, it hasn't happened yet. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, it hasn't. It's in Evil Tunes. He's watching
right because they're cleaning up the house and he dropped them off.
And they call him and he's like, "I'm watching TV here." He's smoking his cigar
for a very long time. An extended scene.
Well, extended scene. The phone rings, I think, 7 times before he answers it.
One of your favorite things.
But see, now that I've mentioned it to you, does it bother you as well? Or
no.
Yeah,
it just makes me think of you.
It's so annoying because it's so much louder than the rest of the audio. It's gross.
But yeah, this is not bad, not too bad.
What are we talking about right now?
Well, we're just finishing talking about Bad Girls from Mars.
Oh yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. I like Bad Girls from Mars. Bad Girls from Mars.
How about Scream Queen Hot Tub Party?
Well, Jared, it's all about soaping your breasts. And if you can't be soaping your breasts under the water, which is almost effectiveless, you should soap your butt, as told by Brinky Stevens.
Yes, this is a clip show.
Yes, it is.
5 of Hollywood's leading scream queens. These are the ones that work for Fred. Get together in a creepy mansion and decide to get in the hot tub, as true scream queens would. They talk in the tub and exchange secrets on the do's and don'ts of being a scream queen. I mean, this is a perfect movie for the long butt fan.
Oh, if you're a long butt guy, this is where you're going to be.
Brink Stevens, Michelle Bauer, Kelly Maroney, Monique Gabrielle, Roxanne Kernahan, and apparently Fred Olen Ray and Jim Wynorski, because this is at one of their houses, I believe. So there's a very helpful review on Letterboxd that explains the commentary track review for this. A lark that Fred Olen Ray and Jim Wynorski shot in a single day. The thing is only 45 minutes long and is simply an excuse to see 5 ladies naked in between clips of them, mostly nude, in other movies. You learn on the commentary that it was all shot in Fred's house, that he and Jim were the only crew as they were shooting on high-8 video, and that Stephanie Rothman, director of The Velvet Vampire, was Fred's neighbor and watched them shoot over her fence. Fred muses she probably thought it was a porno. At one point during a clip of film Wynorski directed, Fred makes fun of Jim for not being attentive to set dressing.
That really says it all, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It really says it all. I didn't realize all that stuff. I didn't read that review, but that's cool.
Yeah.
And I was looking forward to this for a long time. I knew it was a clip show. I didn't think it would be as much of a clip show as it was. And the only real problem I have with this is that it was showing scenes from Evil Tunes, which hasn't happened yet in our chronological order. So I was getting scenes from Evil Tunes, and I was like, wait a minute. That movie came out a year later than Scream Queen Hot Tub Party? I was like, how is that possible? And I said, that's Hollywood for you, buddy.
That's the business. Movie magic.
That's showbiz.
Well, RJ, you had to wait for them to animate everything.
Oh, well, no, they showed the animated stuff.
Well, just remember all the animation they have to do? All the animation in Evil Tunes?
Yeah, that 15 seconds of it.
Yeah.
But man, was it evil.
Oh, man.
Evil.
It was sick.
Yeah. This thing's a good advertisement for the Yellow Pages, though. Like, they really, I think they call like 2 or 3 numbers from the Yellow Pages in this thing. I was like, man, that's the most play the Yellow Pages has had in a long time.
Yeah.
But,
I got this.
I'm okay with this.
I got this at 37. I got it
at 18.
I got this below Brain Leeches because it's just like, this is a waste of time because it's a clip show and you're like, this isn't a movie. I don't need this at all. It's not, I don't know. I was just like, done. I don't. Yeah. There's no new content to it. I can. Yeah. This isn't cinema, RJ. This isn't Kino.
I wish it was more than it was, if that makes sense.
Right.
So, what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? Well, you're going to watch Wizards of the Demon Sword.
Oh, yeah, that is a movie. So this was another one that I had watched before, actually.
Yeah. 1991.
This is the Trauma one, right?
Distributed by Trauma.
Yeah, so I watched this during Trauma.
Yeah, because it's like a fake Trauma movie, but I think they have the rights to it. Ulrich's daughter unites with warrior Thane against evil Lord Kura, who covets the knife of Akhtar. That's the movie. We got Russ Tamblyn. He's back as her father, this girl's father.
Log form.
The best part of the entire movie is Lawrence Tierney shows up. He's a slave master. And at one point when he's like being questioned for the second time, everyone's giving him a hard time, he erupts, no, not this shit again. And I fucking howled and I rewound it because I was like, oh, man.
This movie's got great lines. Like, people in the medieval times talking about is like, I didn't get the facts on that one. And you go, huh?
So this is Sword and Sorcery, which is a new thing in the repertoire.
A one and done as well, I think.
Yeah, because probably it's probably way expensive for what you're supposed to be doing. It's going to look like shit. No one likes this stuff, especially in 1991. It's so long past like anyone wanting to watch this sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Weird.
Yeah, it sticks out in the Fred Olen Ray universe. I don't know. I kind of wish he did more of these. Like Wizard of the Demon Sword isn't a good movie, but I would have liked him to have a second shot at it.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when he had a second shot at it, he got it right. I think. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't even know what I'm talking about. It's not a great movie.
No.
But I do wish he had another Sword and Sorcery.
There's like do you remember the thing where there's like the one guy who's been left to die, and then the thief comes along and helps him out, but they have a duel, and they're like kind of jerk offs to one another, but finally they decide to team up.
Yeah,
and they're like, well, are you going to take that money? Oh, I'm not going to take that. Oh, I'm going to be. And you're like, oh, this is so try hard.
You're just like, come on, move past this.
Yeah.
I have this at 29.
Ooh, damn. I think mine's 21. So somehow I'm higher. That's weird. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, you're not talking about it very highly.
Also, it had that Lawrence Tierney line, so maybe I'm just that damn fond of it.
Not this shit again.
No.
But okay, I mean, that does bring us...
maybe it's going to descend. Maybe it's got to go down a little bit here. Yeah, no, it's going to go. Ooh, yeah. Maybe it's down there with Warlords. It's got that Warlords vibe.
It does. Yeah, I have it right beside Warlords.
Beautiful. Mine's now at 29 too. As a matter of fact, complete coincidence because it's right by Warlords. So.
Yep. Well, sometimes the number itself is irrelevant, but it's easier to match it with other movies, right? Like that's because I put it beside Warlords. It's like I get the same vibe.
It's a feeling.
It's a vibe, Jared.
Mm-hmm. So you're going to say though?
I was going to say we're about to get into some real pornography.
No, softcore doesn't count as real.
Softcore is porn to me, friend.
Well, it's softcore porn, but then there's hardcore porn. This is softcore. So,
yeah.
Inner Sanctum, 1991. A woman attempts suicide when she suspects her husband doesn't love her and is having an affair. Now she's wheelchair bound, and her husband, who indeed doesn't love her and is having an affair, hires a private nurse to look after his wife. The nurse begins to suspect that she was hired because of unproven allegations that she murdered someone's wife in a similar situation, that the husband wants her to murder his wife.
Could you repeat that, Jarrett? Could you slow that down a little bit for me? Because that was a little confusing.
No, you got it.
Yeah. Inner Sanctum.
Awesome. It's an awesome movie. Love it.
Is that your genuine opinion of this thing?
RJ, I have this at number 5.
Ooh, baby, you're a big Inner Sanctum guy, hey?
Biggest Inner Sanctum. This is everything I want. But until I get like 5 more times of it, then it starts getting a little old. Then you're like, oh boy, you're more of this, because this one's like the softcore is a little bit in line. And then it just becomes ridiculous. And you're just like, yeah, I guess this is what people really are watching these for. So several years ago, I was watching 90s thrillers like crazy. And there was like these ones that would come up that have these like bad softcore looking videos that you see at Blockbuster. And you're like, ugh, I don't want to watch these. I don't want to watch these like strangers that are like attractive strangers. But like, I don't know who these people are. They're not famous people having sex. But even then you're like, there comes a point in your life when you're not like a teenage boy where you're kind of like, it's who cares? Yeah. Who cares?
Yeah, I do know what you mean.
So but like in that context of watching these 90s movies and what they're going for about tapping into people's fears and how they kind of structure these like plots and how convoluted they get, like Inner Sanctum is very convoluted. A lot of like so many fake outs. So many, like, you're like, this doesn't even make sense anymore. The fake outs don't make any sense because it's
they faked out the fake out.
They fake out fake. I think they faked out the director and the actors at a core level because everyone's just like, well, I guess that's what's happening now. But that all being said, I really enjoyed this because I think I think this is probably the best made film that Fred Olen Ray made up to this point. That's why I rank it so highly. I think it's genuinely like everything is like it's as well made as he's ever made something to 1991. I think this is like a breakaway, even though it's another genre movie. I think it's like kind of nice that he's broken away from like Warlord and like these other like, I don't know, like cheap movies, I guess you would call them. They always feel like he has no money to do this. It's the thing that Roger Corman complained about, where like, you know, Star Wars basically ruined his business. Like because everybody makes essentially B movies, but they have $100 million. And I think Fred stuff struggled against that for a really long time. Like, how do you make money like this? But then these 90s erotic thrillers came along, and it's like, well, you can make a movie with like some money, but not a lot of money, but you can pull it off just fine and make pretty decent coin. Because, like, I mean, the bigger movies, like, we'll have, you know, Michael Douglas and Sharon Stone or something like that. But you can get, like, oh, here's some, like, you know, Hollywood, like, you know, people who are, like, you know, they walk into a room, they'd be like, wow, that's a really gorgeous person. But, like, in Hollywood, they're just dime a dozen. Like, everybody just looks the same. But you're like, oh, get them into the movie. Hey, you okay taking your shirt off? Hey, you okay simulating some sensuality?
Simulated sensuality.
Do you want to maybe bend over here on the couch and writhe around for a little bit to some music that we're going to be playing later? Don't worry though, it'll be a closed set. I'm not a creep.
Doing what on the couch, Jarrett?
Simulating sensuality.
Wow.
Being mounted from behind, pulling down that laced underwear. Very popular. Very popular.
I think I gotta go to confession after hearing that one.
I mean, you can do something along the way if you need to.
Whew.
So, Inner Sanctum is like
14.
Okay, good. Yeah,
because I do agree with you. I'll let you finish too. No. I do agree with you where I think it is, out of the sensual thrillers, I do think it is the best one. Yeah. So I don't even know what else I think my review is that. Because Matt Gaetz was in the news a lot at the time when I watched this.
Well, so the previous movie that you had a review for, but you didn't watch this time around, was Wizards of the Demon Sword, where you mentioned Mitt Romney. It's like back to back. Mitt Romney, Matt Gaetz. It's like all these Republican guys. They're all bad dudes.
Well, but do you agree with me? Does the bad guy in Wizards Demon Sword not look like Mitt Romney?
He doesn't, but he's like the essence of a Mitt Romney.
Yes,
and it's very fun. And once I couldn't unsee it. And in Inner Sanctum, I was like, yeah, this is Matt Gaetz yelling at his crippled wife.
Doesn't it look like him?
A little bit.
Because that's all. As soon as I saw him, I was like, this guy looks like Matt Gaetz. And then like his wife is like crawling on the floor, can't use his legs, and he's like, you stupid idiot. And I was like, oh my god,
he's a real jerk.
I was really shocked by the brutality of this man against his disabled wife. No. But there's some good dreams logic in this. Like when she's in her wheelchair and her mouth gets skin like fleshed over, and she like can't scream, and she's just watching them have sex, and you're just like, god damn.
That's a striking image.
It is. So yeah, Inner Sanctum. I do think out of the sexual thrillers, I think Inner Sanctum is the best for sure. Inner Sanctum 1, that is.
Yes, I agree.
Inner Sanctum 1, not Inner Sanctum 2.
No. Okay. Oh man, Evil Tunes, 1992. So, man, first they undress you, then they possess you.
Who did that?
4 sexy young girls are to clean an old house for the new owners. They get delivered an old book full of magic incantations. It's straight out of fucking Evil Dead. It is the Book of the Dead, Necronomicon.
It even looks like it.
Exactly. And while reading it, they accidentally bring a cartoon character to life. The cartoon character likes the blood of young girls. So this movie opens up with David Carradine being killed by a lynch mob, right?
Yeah.
And
the movie opens up with the ending, and then it goes back. Or no, wait, no, never mind. Yeah, it's a lynch mob. I was thinking of Scream Queen Hot Tub Party, where they show the ending to this movie, and I saw that before I watched the movie, and I got see, that's why it was confusing. confusing.
Right. Gotcha.
But yeah, there's a lynch mob.
There's a lynch mob. David Carradine's dead, but then he comes back as like a ghost, and we all know there's something off with this. Yeah, Dick Miller, he's in this. The ladies are all in this. Monique Gabrielle, in that hot. Remember her from that hot tub? Artie Johnson as Mr. Hinchlow.
Who doesn't like Artie Johnson?
So we got a bunch of like. We have like the three hot girls, and then we have like the nerdy girl who is just clearly like this girl who's got her hair up with glasses on. And,
well, I think that's Monique Gabrielle. No,
yeah, that's what I mean. Like this is the arc of it, and it's like one girl does her sexy dance that she did to seduce the football coach. Because these women, and these are women who are all high school girls.
I totally missed that they said they were high school girls. I thought they were college girls, and even that I was like, well, you're a little old.
Well, they are talking about like the high school team.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
and that guy and the fucking like the head of the football team,
the balding guy,
yeah, who's like in a whole bunch of these movies.
He comes up in Witch Academy
is that
too.
Don Dow, maybe? Biff?
Maybe.
It might be Don Dow.
Yeah, he comes back in Witch Academy and he plays high school in that too, but he's literally balding. Like he's losing, like he's almost bald, and you're like, I got a hard time believing this guy's 17. I don't know.
I'm not sure if it's even him, because I see him in Virgin Hunters, Backdoors from Mars.
Wow,
it might be one of the.
Let me go to Witch Academy and see.
Maybe it's one of these guys though.
Yeah, Don Dow was in Witch Academy too. It's got to be. Yeah, it's.
But I think he's in other stuff, and maybe he just doesn't merit a major credit. Yeah. So Evil Tunes is getting even more, a little bit more softcore-y.
Yeah. There's the rape for one.
Yeah, that like the three friends can't recognize her screams as like rape, and says like, "Oh, those are sex sounds."
They go, "She always does this," and you go. Does she?
Yeah, Evil Tunes sucks. And this is the movie that probably the movie that tricks people the most into watching it, because it's like Evil Tunes. That's got to be cool, right?
Yeah.
And because you're like, well, this is the problem with these '90s like edgy cartoon live action movies that are people always thought that like Who Framed Roger Rabbit would change the game, but it turns out that all we got was like Cool World and Evil Tunes.
Well, I mean, it changed the game for me, but yeah, nothing ever came of it afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember this getting, I think Corpse was talking one time about Evil Tunes being, like, I can't remember where he was describing it, but it was just like, yeah, it fits into, like, this world. And I was like, oh, yeah, that sounds cool, like, R-rated or, like, horror animated movies. But then I watched this, and as you pointed out, the tune's only in this for about 15 seconds, and I really felt cheated.
Yep.
I was like, I want some more tunes. I mean, that 15 seconds was probably 90% of this film's budget.
Yeah,
and the other 10% went to Dick Miller, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't mind the setup to it. Like, I actually thought that was okay. Like, the girls coming to clean and haunted house and stuff. Weird neighbor comes. He's like, hey, just so you know, everyone dies in this house. And they go, okay. I didn't mind all that stuff, but yeah, you do get you're a little let down afterwards, just because there's just not a lot of tunes, man.
There's not enough tunes.
Tunes never came, dude. These are
not sweet tunes. This I think is 30.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's not too super surprising for you. Mm-hmm. The Carradine scenes are also kind of strange. Like, a lot of them, like, I think the direction was like, just act mysterious, because he's like just kind of moving around the tree, just back and forth. Like, he's not really doing anything. And I feel like they shot his scenes all separate, and then they just kind of put him in there afterwards. So it's fine.
Did you notice a weird thing here now? How Fred Olen Ray didn't make a single movie in 1993?
No, what happened? Did he have a kid or something?
He might have. I'm not sure what happened. And this is where one thing I was thinking of while we were watching these movies, I guess, the last month, is like, there's no like Fred Olen Ray retrospective documentary.
There should be.
I think you could make a nice little, all these. They always have a nice montage of violence and craziness. You could very easily. This guy's got 150 fucking movies. You could compile like the best of the first, 50 of those and make a good little show out of that. Do some interviews. Do interviews with everybody that's still around. I'm sure, unless Fred Olen Ray is a bad dude, but I don't know. He hasn't been canceled yet. So far, so good. But
I was gonna say, yeah.
No, but I mean, I don't know. Get them all to come out and tell their anecdotes. It's ripe for it, but maybe time will tell whether or not that'll happen or not.
I hope so.
It makes sense. I mean, fuck, they do these things for everybody, and I think Fred Olen Ray, of anybody, deserves one as well.
Fucking right. Dude made 150 movies. Dude made Inner Sanctum. Like, come on. Get this guy some. Cut him a break.
So 1993 is the mystery year.
That's the documentary I want to see. What happened to Fred?
In 92 is the only film was Evil Tunes, which like had footage in 1991. So really, it's like a 2-year layoff.
Yeah, and I mean, like there were like 1990, he made 4 films. So what happened in these 2 years? We'll never know.
Burnout.
We'll never know. Sad. Tell me about Mind Twister.
Mind Twister.
Yeah. It fits in your wheelhouse.
Okay, so here's a long tagline.
Okay.
Or fuck, then there's like this is like a tagline and a synopsis, but I got 2 things for you.
Okay.
There is a cost of taking the pleasures of the flesh way beyond the innocence of desire.
Okay.
And 2 former exotic dancers devise a plot to expose a psychiatrist as the murderer of their friend.
A psychiatrist?
A psychiatrist. Yes, that's what
they spelled psychiatrist wrong.
Yeah, there's an H there, and the S is in the wrong spot. Yeah, it's all flipped around. A psychiatrist. Yeah.
Beautiful. Hey, who's the lead actor in this film, Jarrett?
Well, it depends on what you mean by that.
Who's the biggest star in this film?
Well, do you mean Richard Roundtree? Shaft?
I was going to say Telly Savalas.
Oh, right. Well, yes.
But Richard Roundtree.
Telly Savalas, who, let's see here. What year did Telly Savalas die, do you think?
Right after this?
Yeah, he did, RJ. He died right after this.
Yeah, I can see. Apparently Gus Savalas was in this too. Do you think he's Telly's son?
Probably part of... He was there to like keep an eye on Telly.
Oh, boy. I mean, Telly Savalas is barely in this thing. So.
And he's hilarious. He gets the final shot, too.
He does. Yeah, well, he has face recognition, Jarrett, and that's what matters.
So this... going into it, I did not realize what this was, this is like the Paul Bernardo, Carlo Homolka story, pretty much.
I don't know who those people are.
Are you real? Are you
Paul
serious?
Bernardo?
You don't know who they are? The like most like infamous serial killer in Canadian history.
I know Lorraine Bobbitt. She cut her husband's wiener off.
That's America. So this was a big deal. I guess you were
Picton.
I guess you were like you were 3 when this all went down. Yeah. So anyway,
I wasn't watching serial killer stuff when I was 3.
Well, you figured that would have come up. I mean, these guys are always those 2 are always in the news in the Calgary Sun or something like that. They always are obsessing about this stuff. Anyway, they were doing essentially this. They were like this hot young couple, and they were luring co-eds, including Carlo's own sister, to some escapades, but they were actually videotaping and murdering and stuff and torturing people. So Mind Twister is that. It is that idea. This came out like a year afterwards. It's not being packaged that way. I don't know how many people actually ever watched this thing. Save us. But most people talk about Telly Savalas. But this is the next installment, I guess, in the 90s thrillers. And I guess because of the subject matter surprise of this, and just like how pedestrian everything is in its delivery, it's competent. It does everything correctly, I guess. That's supposed to. And so hence I also like this. I thought it was a good little show, RJ. And this is number 6 behind Inner Sanctum.
Yeah, I have it at 17, which is just two behind Inner Sanctum. But I agree. I actually thought Mind Twister was pretty good. Yeah, I liked this setup with what was going on. I actually
I kind of liked, like, I had no idea these were real people, but I was just like,
Vaguely.
like when I was watching it, I was like, this seems like something people would do.
Mm-hmm.
I did like the erotic setup of the murders, and I was like, interesting way to squeak your porn in here, Fred.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, I'm okay with that. I'm all right with that.
You see, like that, was it Erica Nan? She's a real nympho. She's the bad girl.
Oh yeah, that chick is bad.
Yeah.
She does some bad stuff. And looking at her filmography here, Mind Twister's like one of the last ones on her list, but there's some nymphomaniac stuff in here, like Final Impact, which is just a poster of a guy shirtless.
Lorenzo Lamas is not just some guy.
He is to me.
No, check out Die Watching, starring Christopher Atkins. Look at that face.
Okay, let me see. Die Watching. Where is that one?
It's on her filmography.
Oh. I mean, if you were watching that, you'd probably make that face too.
No.
He lives to watch her.
She's also Animal Instincts, Camp Fear. Savage Harbor was a Vinegar Syndrome release last year. I think it's out of print, sadly, now. That's too bad. Eric, she's good in this, I think.
Savage Harbor with Frank Stallone.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Yeah, Mind Twister's not bad. I actually I got some good stuff out of this. I like the setup where it's just throwing ladies out of windows and falling on the street, and you go, shit.
Mm-hmm.
That looks serious.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Mind Twister's not bad.
Not bad. How about Dinosaur Island? I guess cashing in on the hotness of Jurassic Park.
I mean, that's probably what they were doing, yeah. Dinosaur Island, what did I have to say about this one? I think Dinosaur Island's not bad. I think it's got some cool stuff in there.
Should I tell the synopsis here?
Sure, if you want.
Welcome to lush Dinosaur Island, where a tribe of gorgeous cave-dwelling warrior women satisfy the exotic fantasies of 5 downed military airmen. Fearsome battles with the island's ferocious man-eating dinosaurs are the only disruption of their seductive pleasures on this island paradise. Narrowly surviving with their lives, the rugged men fall under the seductive spell of their lovely captors and soon find their every dream fulfilled. This sounds a little more porny than this actually is.
It sure sounds porny. There's very little porn in it, though.
Yeah.
There's
like a hot tub scene.
Yeah, there's a hot tub scene. But this has all the crew too. Ross Hagen, Michelle Bauer, and then the dude I was thinking of is Peter Spellos. That's that kind of bigger guy who's in all of these as well.
Okay.
So this one again, it's kind of like I was talking about earlier with Phantom Empire. I was like, I feel like in Phantom Empire he did it a little bit, and he's like, I want to make a whole movie about that, and so he did Dinosaur Island. I think this movie's got.
Yeah. It is Peter
cool
Spellos.
stuff.
That's the guy I was thinking of too.
Yeah, he's a cool dude. I like seeing him pop up.
And this is his debut, I think. In the I think in the Fred Ray world.
In the Olinverse.
Yeah.
Well, actually, he was in Scream Queen Hot Tub Party.
In a footage.
In footage of Sorority House Massacre 2.
But this is when they start working together.
Yeah, and then he's in a bunch of these movies coming up. Yeah, so I think you're right. This is the first one for him. So we got our military men. They land on the island, and this is what I would describe as incel fanfic because, and I know you say I don't use that word correctly, but I think that this fits for that, right? Because it's like could you imagine if you landed on an island and it was nothing but bikini babes and you were the only man? Could you imagine? That's how I think incels talk, by the way.
I hear ya. You know what? Yeah. I just noticed this Dinosaur Island wasn't on my ranked list at all.
Shocking, Jarrett. I have Dinosaur Island at 13 on my list.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of this. Truth be told, I'm not a fan of jungle trouble as a genre.
Oh, interesting.
This is above Warlords for sure. This would be a 20. No, this is 28 for me.
It's pretty low. I liked the scene when the T-Rex howled at the moon like a wolf. I thought that was fun.
sometimes you need more than that. Me personally.
You personally? Well, that's okay. Different strokes for different folks, right, Jared?
Different strokes, like those in Possessed by the Night from 1994.
I did not watch this film, so you'll have to tell me.
Oh shit! No, okay, all right.
I don't think this was
available.
Made available to me,
Okay.
so you'll have to tell me.
Well, you're not missing out. You're not missing
Okay.
out. Otherwise, I guess I would have hooked you up. A horror writer buys an odd-looking mutant embryo creature pickled in a jar from a shop in Chinatown, hoping it will be a creative inspiration for his work. Instead, the odd mutation provokes a rage of violence and lust to envelop the suburban villa where the writer lives with his wife and sexy secretary.
Sounds good.
So this is Shannon Tweed. She's in here. Ted Pryor. You know, everyone knows Ted Pryor, right?
Well, shit, who doesn't know?
You know about That Deadly Prey? You know about Killer Workout, Sledgehammer?
I do.
Deadliest
Killer Workout's
Prey?
good stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, he's here. Not being too much of a goof. And of course, we got Henry Silva.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the biggest get is Frank Severo from The Godfather, Goodfellas, Godfather Part 2, The Wedding Singer, Little Nicky, New York, The Gambler, Ruthless People, Fear City, 52 Pickup, Cop and a Half, Fighting Back, RJ. Remember watching Fighting Back? We watched it after wrestling.
I do remember Fighting Back. It wasn't bad. I think that's what you would describe as a pretty good show.
So I would say that Frank Severo might be one of the best names ever got.
Mike Severo?
Frank
Severo?
and Mike.
What about Mike Severo?
And Henry Silva's a big deal. Maybe they're all like, "Oh, Shannon Tweed's in this? Oh boy, I heard she's going to get married to Gene Simmons one day."
Do you think that's what they actually said?
No.
Henry Silva's cool. I like Henry Silva. Yeah, I mean, this sounds good, but you're telling me it's not.
Yeah, no, this is let's see, where did I wind up throwing this on my list? You just hope it's more. Yeah, this is below Evil Tunes.
Really?
Yeah.
And you're an erotic thriller.
I am.
Erotic thriller fan.
But then they all turned to the exact same movie, and they're not as good as what's come before it. It's kind of a bummer because you're like, man, this is going to have a mutant fetus, which it does, and it's like possessing people, but it's not clear what's going on.
Damn.
It's kind of a mess. It's kind of a mess. There's no horror writer stuff. There's a weird Chinese shop where it gets picked up. And it starts taking over people and making them angry. And at the very end, you're like, oh, hey, we could have solved it all by just throwing the fucking mutant embryo into the fireplace. The end. That's the end. That's the end of the fucking movie. I ruined it. But yeah, this one's skippable.
Well, I'm glad I didn't see it, I guess.
Yes.
But it much like all of these films, they sound cool until you watch them. Yeah. Well, for some of them. Tell me about your second favorite film, Inner Sanctum 2.
Inner Sanctum 2. Yeah. So this is a sequel with completely different people.
Sequel.
Yeah, so she can walk again. That was always her problem. She never needed the wheelchair. It was all in her mind. It was a mental block. But now she's back and a completely different person. After this one's got a zombie in it, so that's rad.
This one does have a zombie in it.
After a traumatized woman kills her rich husband in self-defense, his family and friends show up to secure a piece of the inheritance for themselves, even if it means driving the poor woman insane. Or worse.
What's worse?
There's no killer. That's it. That's about it.
Oh. See, I don't know about you, Jared, but I found Inner Sanctum 2 to be confusing.
Yes.
A little
it's
bit.
it's like it assumes that you care specifically about what happened in Inner Sanctum, which you don't.
Yeah.
And they're just like, oh, hey, remember that? We're going to pick up these plot points. You're like, what are you talking about? Like, you're for all intents and purposes, no one will ever watch Inner Sanctum. You could have called this movie anything you wanted.
It could have been anything. Like, the only, see, I didn't think that the plot points even lined up that well. The only thing connecting it to me was, I was like, I think it's just, like, a guy trying to kill his wife again. Like, that was the only connection I had.
It's a do-over.
Yeah, and like not even a particularly good one either, where it's just like it's like you did it better the first time, man. You didn't improve on anything. Peter Spellos is in. Oh no, wait, that's not who I'm talking about. Oh yeah, Peter Spellos. He's in this one again too, as a detective. But
Oh, and don't forget David Warner
and David Warner is who?
from Star Trek, like all the time.
Oh yes, I remembered. Yeah. If you had mentioned the scientist from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, Jarrett, I would have known exactly who you were talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot. He's in this, but they underutilize him.
Tell me about it. Tell me about what's happening. Yeah, it's like it's a real waste of David Warner, I felt.
I feel so too.
There's always an inevitability, it seems, though, when you're watching these Fred Olen Ray movies from the 80s and 90s, that someone that shows up in a lot of Star Trek shows are going to show up in Fred Olen Ray movies eventually. Like David Warner, who shows up in Star Trek, Babylon 5. No Brad though.
I mean, if Brad Dourif would have been in any of these, I think it should have been the vampire erotica, but he wasn't. So
that's a bummer.
I was not hot on Inner Sanctum 2. I had it pretty low at 33.
Wow, that low. So this one I still ranked higher because it had like the weirdness of the zombie stuff. I have it at 23, but
that's okay.
the rest of them kind of pretty well. They're all interchangeable. Like I don't remember anything about Inner Sanctum 2 at this point.
Exactly. And like that, because I actually liked Inner Sanctum 1. So when I saw Inner Sanctum 2, I was like, eh. I was like, I'm not on board with this.
You know it's going to be a piece of crap. You know it. You just know it.
Yeah, you just know.
So Attack of the 60-Foot Centerfold, which is probably Fred Olen Ray's second most famous, I think. If you want to consider Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers being number one, Evil Tunes might be in there as well. But I think Attack of the 60-Foot Centerfold is just like kind of campy cheesecake enough that people would just go, oh, it's that. Ain't that cute?
Mm-hmm. And it is, and this is another one where the whole crew is here. They all show up for this one, which is nice as well. And this lady, she's in, I think she's in Masseuse afterwards as well. Angel Grace.
Yeah,
is her name. She's in some stuff, I think. Or is she Angel Grace?
Russ Tamblyn. Ross. It is. I think that is her name. Is Angel.
In the movie, it's Angel Grace.
JJ North. Yeah.
But we got Michelle Bauer, Peter Spellos, Ross Hagen, Russ Tamblyn, the porn guy who I don't really. What's his name again? I don't know. No, wait, he's not in it. Tim Abel, like you said. So this one is This one's interesting because I actually think that this is one where Fred actually got to have a little fun, and he really got creative with his set design, Jarrett. And he was like, what about like perspective? You guys ever like, how do we make this chick look huge?
Let me read the synopsis here because I don't even know how I did it for Inner Sanctum too. But okay. Yeah. So she's so hot, you'll need to call 911. That's weird. Among the finalists for Centerfold of the Year are Angel and her spiteful rival Betty. However, no one is aware of Angel's involvement in a secret medical beauty enhancement program headed by Dr. Lindstrom. Desperate to win, Angel overdoses on Lindstrom's formula with disastrous results. Soon, she has grown to monstrous but shapely proportions, causing all sorts of complications. The most dangerous being Betty's jealousy of Angel's newfound attention. Betty discovers Angel's secret and takes the formula herself, causing her to grow into an equally gorgeous giant. As the girls battle it out on Hollywood Boulevard, Dr. Lindstrom races to find an antidote.
That's really the whole plot, isn't it? Or that's the whole show.
That is the whole show.
I like that they had to include huge but shapely. Just so you know, she's not gigantic, only in the right places.
Mm-hmm.
Just in case you didn't know.
Just in case.
This is a unique one because this one has a Fat Burger cameo, Jared.
Ooh,
which I was like, was this a paid partnership or was this just Fred really digging Fat Burger and like Let's throw Fatburger in here. That'd be fun.
So J.J. North's not much of an actress, right?
No, she tries.
Especially when she has to do this, like, I'm acting with nothing there because I'm not actually 60 feet tall.
Yes.
And so she's just, like, doing nothing off of it. She's like, oh... Like, even, like, skilled actors have a problem pulling that off, and J.J. North's getting thrown into the deep end here.
She is. She tries. I mean, I think she does fit in the, because her character is like the nice girl who's just kind of like, I'm just here to have fun, like whatever.
My breasts are too small.
Yeah, her breasts are too small.
Come on.
But like, she's not as intense as the other two ladies.
Right.
So I think she comes off as like the more wholesome one in that sense because she's not mean. She just wants bigger breasts.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this one has the one thing I really liked about this movie, Jared, is my boy Peter Spellos as the exterminator.
Oh yeah.
When he's like walking into the room and he pushes that guy and he goes, out of the way, hand job. And then he walks in. I thought that was really funny. I was like, I've never really heard a man call another man hand job. It's funny. It's funny to me. I don't know.
It's good.
Maybe that's just me.
I appreciate it. It's fine.
Yeah, I liked it. One thing that sucks, though, is that she ruins an entire community's drinking water by bathing in that water tower.
So what happens to the microbes on her body? Do they grow giant as well, or does she just have that many more?
You would hope that they would grow as well. Like, I don't know, but...
I guess it's injections, so it is inside of her. But maybe those, like, her gut flora becomes gigantic as well. So when she has to, like, shit, it'd be like a... Did they ever talk about that, did they?
They don't, but they don't talk about where she goes to the bathroom at all.
No.
So,
this seems like easy stuff for... Like, this is the stuff that Fred wanted, but he just couldn't afford it.
Just couldn't afford it.
No one wants to see a centerfold take a dump.
Well, there are people who
There are some, especially a giant woman. Some people want to be eaten by a giant woman, but
yeah, a lot of people do.
Yeah, you can't please everybody.
No. What I took the most out of this, what I wanted, which was nice, was when the man had a baguette and he handed it to her, and then she had a breadstick. I was just like, Hollywood. That's showbiz, baby. Movie magic. Good stuff. I have this at 22.
Jeez, where do I have it?
Because it's fine.
Wow, I have it at 22.
Yeah, see? Yeah. Confluence.
Wild. It's wild.
Wild stuff. Yeah.
So I totally skipped over Demon Cop because it's not on the official list. So I guess we should maybe address that because I just noticed it out here. So Demon Cop's an oddity because this movie is either directed by or not directed by Fred Olen Ray. It seems to not be directed by him at all because when I watch this, I'm like, this is just a like really no budget shot on video horror movie that like Cameron Mitchell's in, and American Independent Productions, which is I get the sense was Fred Olen Ray's company that he's definitely a part of because almost everything of his was produced from them for a very long time, but not everything. Yeah. But I mean, things like The Erotic Dreams of Jeannie and Bikini Airways, those are all Fred. And then there's Jacko, which is kind of like hand job, I guess. Yeah. That's a different thing altogether from 1995. It looks cool, but I don't think it is. But
it looks cool.
So Demon Cop, though. So Demon Cop, he'll read you your last rites. And this is from 1990. Because he's a demon cop, but he's actually a werewolf.
Yeah, and the werewolf, the Lycanism is a metaphor for HIV.
Yep.
Is what I took from this.
A former probationary officer who is a patient at a mental asylum escapes and prowls the city looking for victims whose blood may cure the blood disease he has that has turned him into a werewolf-type monster.
I like that they clarified that though in the synopsis, a werewolf type. See, that's I can accept that.
Yeah. So, yeah, this movie's basically garbage. However, that demon cop werewolf makeup is So wonderful. And when they have to shoot him with his like, they can't show his mouth moving, and so they dub him over all the time. They shoot him from behind at length, long periods of time with his back just turned to you as he keeps talking. You're like, is this a narration or is this the wolf cop? And no,
you don't know.
Yeah, you don't know. So somehow this still winds up being like, I think 21 on my list inexplicably. I don't know how. I don't know why, but I feel fine saying, well, I don't think Fred Olen Ray had anything to do with this because it doesn't feel like anything. It's way too low budget. Mm-hmm. This doesn't fit whatsoever what he was doing. Even in 1990. So I don't know. This is a weird one.
I agree. When I watched it, my note was, "Oh, hello," because I was interested in it as well.
Yes.
But within like 5 minutes, I was like, "This doesn't feel at all like a Fred Olen Ray movie." So I was like, "I don't know. It's strange." But I mean, I guess that's kind of trouble you get in when all these directors are using like different pseudonyms all the time, and like you can't keep track of all the shit. So
because if you look on IMDb.
It says it's him. Yeah.
Maybe he shot some scene. Oh, you know what it is? It's the Cameron Mitchell stuff. That's what it is. Like, so the scenes where it's like Fred Olen Ray, he's like Crypt Keeper Doctor, and he's like, "Wow, isn't that interesting that this transpired? Hopefully, it never happens again." That's, I think, what he literally shot, and they put it into the movie. I think that's where it is. So it's very Death Farm.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad we included it for completion's sake.
I mean, I liked it more than half of his own movies, so
I agree. Yeah.
What's that tell you?
It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. So, Jarrett, tell me about Bikini Drive-In.
Bikini Drive-In from 1995.
Mm-hmm.
Kim Taylor inherits her grandfather's drive-in theater. She must raise $25,000 over one weekend, or the bank will take the property from her. So, this is a movie that, is like a real movie, RJ.
I know this is a real movie.
This you would probably you would call this his masterpiece, Fred's masterpiece.
I think so too. Yep. I agree.
I don't have it as my number one movie of his because it's not quite my favorite for enjoyability. I do have it at number 7. But this is it's weird that this movie exists the way that it does because it's 1995. It's a throwback to like a 1980 style plot. It's basically like UHF. We got to save the drive-in theater. We got to raise money. We got to come up with ideas, and we're going to get a whole bunch of foxy ladies who are going to be in bikinis, and everyone's going to show up because they're all pervs and all horny, and people are going to try to screw it up and wreck things, and hijinks will ensue. A guy likes a girl, and he's trying to get her attention. Her focus is on other things, so he's going to do everything he can do to help her save the drive-through. That kind of stuff.
That old chestnut.
We've seen this movie before. It's not reinventing the wheel. It's still got John Carradine in it somehow. That's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised when I saw it. I was like, "Oh shit, he's here." I agree with you. I think this is just vintage.
And then he still throws in softcore sex scenes.
There's a little bit, yeah.
And you're oh, those are show-stopping numbers. It happens a few times, and you're like, well, I guess I can't show this to my parents anymore.
Were you going to?
Well, I mean, you could, but you're like, oh, hey, here's some banging. You want some, you want to see this man sup on her breasts in the hot tub? You want to see that?
You could still set him up. You just be like, here's this film, and then leave for a while, and just be like, I think you guys might enjoy it, and then because I don't know, they might like Bikini Drive-In.
They might, but I don't think it's for them. But
well, that's fine.
But yeah, do you have anything else to say about Bikini Drive-In?
No, I agree with you. I think this is vintage Fred, and I think this is the American dream just in caps, like that, just all together. This is what America is all about.
Well, so not only is this next film all about what America is, and something I would show my parents, but not really. Yeah. Witch Academy from 1995.
Before you even go, Jarrett, I'm going to hit you right now. Witch Academy is number 2 on my list.
Number 4.
Witch Academy is good stuff.
I mean, I do see that. One Sam Sanchez gave this 1.5 stars.
Yeah, but he's a bad dude. He's a bad dude.
I mean, I get it. Like if
it's super dumb.
It's super dumb. Like if you don't like this, boy, you're gonna fucking hate it. However, the synopsis of this film: members of an exclusive college sorority where sadomasochism seems to rule the day seek twisted new ways to humiliate a new pledge named Leslie Perkins, who they feel will never ever fit in since she's something of a nerd and a prude. However, the devil has other plans and helps transform Leslie into a bodacious babe, smoking as all hell. Only why is the devil helping Leslie? You just gotta know he has ulterior motives in mind.
It is.
So we got
honestly,
we got Robert Vaughn. As the devil,
which is so cool.
Yeah, this movie is like it's dumb as shit, but it's like but it knows it's dumb. It's so cheap. It's so cheap. Like these people are just being assholes to one another, and it's super campy. And I usually probably don't like camp, but this camp I'm totally on board with. It's the right kind of dumb that I like in my cinema, in my killer workout and death spa. It's not as good as either of those, but it's in that it feels that way. So Witch Academy was a total surprise in terms of like I like this movie about like these I don't know, BDSM ladies. They're super like catty witches and like fucking with each other, and they're like and they don't care. They're like, you got me, you son of a bitch, you whore, and then they just get back at it. You're like, this is great.
Yeah, I know. I agree completely. Where it is, this shit is so dumb. This whole movie, it's just so dumb, but I love it because it's just like line up for your spankings, and it's just like you're watching, you're like, what the fuck is going on? You're like, why are we doing this? But it's funny, and I do like I really like Robert Vaughn as the devil. I don't know why. I was just like, I like seeing this guy here as the devil. I know him best as the bad guy from Basketball, and just seeing him pop up here, I was just like, oh, that's fun. I was like, I like this, and I do like the plan because it's that classic story. It's like, look at that nerd, and then it's like, oh, she lets, like as you pointed out, glasses come off, hair goes down, and they go, oh, hubba hubba,
what a babe,
what a babe. But I dug Witch Academy. I thought it was really good. I don't know what's going on with Sam, but I think I think he should rewatch it. Give it another shot.
No fun Sanchez.
No fun Yeah, I mean, no fun Duncan over here is enjoying the fun of Witch Academy.
Lapping it up.
Yeah, Witch Academy's good stuff. I liked it quite a bit. Yeah. Good stuff.
Next up, we've got Droid Gunner, a.k.a. Cyberzone, a.k.a. Phoenix 2, a.k.a. Roger Corman Presents Droid Gunner.
Oh, that's a good one. I didn't know that
from 1995. You've entered Cyberzone. Let the chase begin. In the future, the threat of global takeover by cyborg units has forced Earth to outlaw their use. But when 4 female androids are smuggled to Earth, Jack Ford is assigned to track them down. An adventurous chase takes him from the mean streets of Phoenix to the depths of New Angeles, an underwater city, and into the diabolical clutches of a maniacal kingpin and his criminal army.
I mean, it doesn't get much more American than Jack Ford.
Played by Mark Singer.
So I'd like to direct you to my review of this film, Jarrett. Okay. In which I described it as Blade Runner incel fan fiction. Okay. Which I think holds up. I think it holds up.
So this is like, I mean, if you want to take filmmaking 101, I think it would be very important to do a compare and contrast of Blade Runner with a Cyberzone. And maybe when people go, well, I don't know if Blade Runner is a very good movie. And then you go, well, then there's Cyberzone.
Let me introduce you to Droid Gunner.
This is what mere mortals make when they make this type of movie with no money, with no budget. And they're just like, oh, I'm going to put on a good show.
Yeah, they say I can do what this guy's doing.
Where's a guy?
Blade Runner?
Yeah, a guy who's walking around in whatever those shirts are called. like the butt. They slightly
Crop
button down.
tops?
No. There's a it's like a pullover essentially. Like
Cardigans?
no, it's not a cardigan. It's just got the buttons at the top. And it's like
got the buttons.
I don't. And it's linen. It's like a linen pullover kind of thing. Anyway, he's rocking that with his jacket. This guy is like 90s. And there's nothing to recommend about this other than it occurs. There's the giant like Swedish guy, Matthias Hughes, maybe.
That guy is so big. Like how tall do you think that dude is?
That
like
guy.
7
Do you remember him from Star Trek VI: The Undiscovered Country, also starring David Warner?
Yeah, he's a Klingon in that one, right?
Oh, he's Dark Angel. He's like the bad guy in the movie Dark Angel.
He's huge. Like he is an enormous man.
Ooh, he's in No Retreat, No Surrender 2. He's in TC 2000. He's in Digital Man. Hell yeah.
Man, he's got it all.
This guy's cool. And he doesn't really do a whole fucking ton. Except he's like, I only deliver the women. I'm not Rutger Hauer. I'm not Rutger Hauer. Don't believe it, anything you hear. I'm not Rutger Hauer.
I am not Canadian legend Rutger Hauer.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
With that classic Canadian accent of his.
Rutger Hauer. Canadian. Yeah, he's a huge man. And I wish he was in more of these movies. But the other gang is all here. We got Russ Hagen, Peter Spellos, Brink Stevens. They're there.
Friends
of the show.
Good close personal friends.
I thought Cyberzone, aka Droid Gunner Phoenix 2, I thought it was fine. It's definitely not great in terms of all these other ones, but I was like, I'm fine with this.
Yeah, this is 24 for me.
24?
Yeah.
I got it at 13.
It's above Alienator.
Yeah.
And then, so you're thinking about Alienators, like, this is kind of a Terminator knockoff, and then Cyberzone's your Blade Runner ripoff, and then the next movie, Star Hunter from 1996, is the Predator ripoff, which I have at 26. I have them all at the same level.
I have Star Hunter at 28.
Yeah,
so I'm close to you. Yeah. I was not a Star Hunter guy.
Well, this is like, again, another movie that's like co-directed by this Cole S. McKay or something like that. Like,
yeah.
So I'm not sure if this is a rescue job.
It might have been. I would think that, but yeah, Star Hunter sucks.
Even Roddy McDowell as he's something. He's doing something. He's like a blind guy.
Yeah, he's like I didn't even recognize him though. Like I saw the name in the credits and I was like, really? And then like he's there and he's not like in costume or anything, but I was like, is that him?
Yeah, there's a head like Christopher Ray's back.
Yeah, there's a bunch, and it's just Predator, and like I actually think Predator hunting high school kids in like just a city. I think that sounds really cool, but it's just like it's so shitty. He's instead of heat, he's using smell. Like there's the olfaction meter, and I was like, oh my god, I was like, that is so dumb. He just has a shotgun, and he's really bad at his job too. They're like, he's the most elite hunter in the universe, but like he gets punked by a bunch of kids. What?
Yeah, you have to be poopy at your job in these movies so the kids actually survive.
Yeah. So he's not good. Yeah, I thought Star Hunter was real pants, as you would say.
But this is the movie that ends our consecutive run of movies, where we've watched everything in chronological order.
Okay.
So it's to touch on these next movies. So 1996, we see another 3. Holy fuck! How many movies did he make in 1996 alone? Good God.
A lot?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, he made 8 movies in that year. We watched 4 of them.
A bunch of them.
5. We watched 5 of them. Yeah, this is or he's making children's movies, which is kind of great. So next up would be Illicit Dreams 2, followed by Friend of the Family 2.
Ooh.
Once is Never Enough, and there's a dude coming up behind a lady pawing at her. Of course he is. And this other one's like got a guy, he's in a door frame and he's looking at a lady being sexy. Yep, that's what you get. But then that's followed by Invisible Mom,
which I think Corpse watched,
starring D. Wallace Stone.
Ooh, I'm always down with D. Wallace Stone.
Not seeing is believing.
Yeah, sure, I'm sold.
Yeah, so I'm sorry, folks. I just like with Charles Band, I'm not going to watch children's movies.
I think that's too. I would have watched
kid with the X-ray eyes, but then I would have also wanted to watch was it Bikini X-ray eyes or something? The porn version of that.
And then it never
Sex-ray eyes.
And then it never ends.
Yes.
But next though is Masseuse from 1996, which I think has the best tagline yet.
What is it, Jared?
Have you ever been rubbed the right way?
What does that mean?
No. Okay, okay. This is awesome. Jack is a real scumbag who is going to marry Christy. He has a bad habit of sleeping with other women and stealing all of her money. 2 weeks before their marriage, Christy sees Jack having sex with their maid, Rosa. It turns out he was threatening Rosa into having sex as well as his secretary, Diane. When he goes away on business, Christy, Rosa, and Diane devise a way to get him back for all the things he has put them through. They also decide to turn his house into a special massage parlor for a few nights so Christy can try to make some of the money back that Jack stole from her.
Yeah, that's what happens in Masseuse.
Yeah, so we get...
He's a real scumbag.
Yeah, we get Tim Abel.
And yeah, so I'm used to seeing Tim Abel for doing the sex thing now, and I just wish I wasn't. Do you know what I mean? I knew all his moves. I know how he goes into these things. I know like how he starts out.
You know,
warms up.
You know his fuck style.
Yeah, I do. And I really wish I didn't, because it's like I don't need to see how this guy does this kind of stuff, but I do. I know now. Mm-hmm. Here's my thing with Masseuse. I actually like the setup where it's kind of like a revenge movie where they're getting back at him. I like seeing his life get broken down into shit. Yeah. That's kind of nice. But I don't know. Masseuse doesn't really, like, you don't really walk away with much. Not as much as, like, say, Mind Twister or Inner Sanctum. I didn't, at least.
No, you're right. I agree.
Yeah.
I'm kind of bumping it up, I think, because I think it's... Oh, man, some of these movies are such shit.
Yeah. Yeah, some of them are shit, dude.
It's like, man, is Masseuse really worse than Demon Cop? And it might be better than, like, Commando Squad, because I don't remember anything about Commando Squad.
Commando Squad's got some cool stuff, but the copy that we were watching was a little rough, so I think that took away from it a little bit.
Yeah.
So, Masseuse is okay. It's just it's like I said, I like the revenge plot of Masseuse, but outside of that, it's kind of like I don't know. This dude sucks. Like, which I mean is the point. He's conning people into sexing on them, and Masseuse is okay. It's just, yeah, you don't take much away from it after you watch it. So
no.
So I don't know, but that's followed up by some more erotic thrillers.
Well, there's one called Over the Wire from 1996. And then like back to back. I mean, these look exactly like the same film, but there's one we had to watch because it's about vampire porn. So, Nightshade.
Mm-hmm. Tell me about Nightshade, Jarrett.
A disillusioned widower begins getting weird email messages. So an email has arrived in the Olen Ravers.
Yes, it's finally here.
And Dooley heads to a strip club. Unfortunately, once there, he sees his supposedly dead wife lap dancing. Even more unfortunately, she also happens to be a vampire.
That's it. That kind of. I never read that before, but when you were reading that, it sounds like the plot to like a Futurama episode.
Yeah.
Where it's like his dead wife is a stripper, and she's a vampire. Like, it's like one of those spooky door things. Yeah. This movie sounds a lot better than it is, I think.
Yeah. So this is a whole lot of nothing, and it looks like dog shit.
Yeah, it don't look great.
This is some pretty sure this is SOV shot on video. But it's like they're just knocking these out to make money quickly.
Yeah,
because you're like, hey, there's a big market for this, and the videotapes. Blockbuster might be carrying these softcore movies.
Maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know. They could be.
Yeah. This is a 33rd on my list. It's above Possessed by the Night. below Evil Tunes, inexplicably. But
I had it just beside Evil Tunes, but above Evil Tunes.
It's a coin toss.
Yeah,
No matter
they all
what,
mesh together.
We all lose no matter what.
Yeah, well, it's like I think my 1 to 10 are all the same, pretty much. Mm-hmm. So yeah, the Nightshade. It sounds awesome. It really does, but it's not.
Especially imagine if it had Stephen King in it, pounding away.
I'll send you a thing I read in a Stephen King book a week ago. It was pretty graphic and sexual, which is gross. This one also, you have Tim Abel, and you see his penis in this movie, Jarrett.
That's fine.
His penis, yeah, but I haven't.
I don't think we've seen. We haven't seen genitals.
You've never seen genitals before, except now.
Do you think we'll see genitals in the children's film Kid Witch?
Maybe. I don't know. I didn't watch it. Did you?
I did not.
So you never know, right? Like there could be.
Ooh, what about Billy Frankenstein? You gonna watch that?
Apparently, that is one of his more popular films, allegedly. As what Wikipedia tells me.
Mom's Out of Sight, Dear Santa, Invisible Dad, Mom, Can I Keep Her, The Kid with the X-Ray Eyes. How about Scandal on the Other Side? Oh dear.
Some of that sounds cool.
Oh dear. Yeah. Then there's okay. It breaks down here. I think we're in our final couple movies.
Yeah, I only have 2 or 3 left.
Yeah, that's about it. Well, I mean, we're missing Fugitive Rage with Wendy Schumacher and Shauna O'Brien, and Tim Abel, of course, Ross Hagen, of course. Mm-hmm. This is and Peter Spellos, of course. It's too bad. It's a women in prison movie, but no one I know has watched it, and 57 people have logged in on Letterboxd. That's too bad. Hybrid, The Outer Limits of Horror, with Tim Abel, J.J. North, Brink Stevens, John Barrymore III.
Ooh.
So that's looks like it's about it's got like a monster thing on it going on.
Hybrid is one I've heard of before as well. I just have not seen.
Okay, me neither. Rapid Assault, and then there's these action movies. There's a few. We watched one of his action movies.
Yes, we did.
And you watched 2 actually.
Yes, I did.
I'm bummed I didn't get to see Maximum Security, which they are society's most notorious criminals. They are our only hope. Terrorists infiltrate Innsmouth, a new maximum security prison. And inmate Mace Richter, a former police officer, is the only one who can foil their plans. So that's So this Paul Michael Robinson guy, this guy is looking jacked, baby.
Ooh, I have not. Which one is this?
This is Maximum Security.
Maximum Security.
Yeah, this guy's looking big boy here. It's probably sounds like a piece of crap. I'm like Innsmouth.
Oh yeah, this dude does look jacked. God damn.
So yeah, these late 90s action movies, not so great. Operation Cobra, with Don Wilson, probably exactly what you expect. But unfortunately, we didn't get to see Masseuse 2, which I'm sure...
Or Bikini Hoedown.
Which I'm sure, but I'm sure Masseuse 2 has very little to do with Masseuse 1.
Or Masseusing at all, probably, for that matter.
Yeah, another flame out there. Oh, there's a list on here called Skin Flicks.
Ooh, I like that.
Not bad. So there's this would have been Fred Olen Ray's first Western, The Shooter, from 1997, starring Michael Dudikoff and Randy Travis.
See, allegedly, Wikipedia claims that is his best film. Which
with 66 people who've ever seen it, with an average score of 2.9, with questionable. It's possible. I mean, did he say that? I don't know.
We'll never know.
The Capital Conspiracy, something of Daniel Baldwin here called Active Stealth, Mach 2, Countermeasures, Fugitive Mind, with the Dudikoff, bringing us to Sideshow.
Yes.
Jarrett, why don't you tell me about Sideshow?
Sideshow, the Fred Olen Ray Full Moon collaboration.
Yes.
While visiting a traveling carnival full of human freaks, high school students nearly join as permanent members. Nearly join.
They all do.
Yeah. So this stars Phil Fondacaro.
Yeah.
The little man from
From the
Seinfeld.
Creeps.
From Seinfeld and from The Creeps.
The Creeps. Yep.
Yeah, everyone loves him. A bunch of no-name actors.
Yes.
Peter Spellos, Ross Hagen, Brink Stevens. The big three right there.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
And this is some like just a classic kind of like direct-to-video horror movie type of deal that I have at number 1, RJ, on the Fred Olen Ray ranked list for me.
Wow.
I have it as
Jared, I'm not going to lie to you. I am shocked.
I have it as number 1 because
Shocked.
I think that the insect boy, whatever it is like really rad. I think actually a lot of like the chicken man at the end and the faceless woman stuff, it was all awesome. I thought that was it just felt like this doesn't feel like a Fred Olen Ray movie. Like it actually has it feels extremely polished. And I mean, it's not like, again, this isn't a great movie by any means, but it's the one I've been wanting to watch probably for the longest, just because like way back when we were doing the full moon thing, I was like, I can't watch Sideshow. What if we do Fred Olen Ray one day? So this was like pretty well one of the last movies I watched. And then I was watching this. Maybe my standards had just come crashing down so hard that I don't even know what I'm looking at anymore. But I thought this was a very nice little non-objectionable horror movie with like it stuck to its guns. I was really dreading the ending. I kept thinking, they're gonna back out of this whole deal. But they don't. So they stuck the landing, and it's like, damn. Because like for the first part, I was like, oh, this is just like the Funhouse. This is like Tobe Hooper's like the Funhouse, but it's like not going to be as good as that. And there's going to be like, but then there's like Inside Out Woman, and there's like the digesting women, and like all these weird like little freaks. And it's like, man, this is actually pretty good.
I'm glad you liked it, man. I did think you would when I was watching it. I was like, Jarrett loves carnies. He loves stuff like this, so he'll be all over this thing. But I agree with you. Like, I actually thought the Sideshow freak people, like some of them were real good. Like is it the bug guy or like whoever the Invisible Man guy is when he like derobes?
Yes, that's the insect boy.
Yeah, that thing. Like when I was watching it, I was like, holy shit! I was like, this thing's pretty rad. Like I like this.
So this movie was shot. So the cinematographer on this was Mac Ahlberg, who also worked on Reanimator, From Beyond, Good Burger, House, Beverly Hills Cop 3, Dolls, the Brady Bunch movie, Ghoulies, Hell Night, Trancers, Innocent Blood, Deep Star 6, Robot Chucks, Oscar, Striking Distance, A Very Brady Sequel, House 3, Dungeon Master, Prison, My Boyfriend's Back, King of the Ants, Space Truckers, Parasite, Arena. It goes on. He even shot Ingmar Makes a Movie. Ingmar Bergman Makes a Movie. Criterion crossover.
Wow.
Right there.
We did it. We finally brought it back somehow.
Yeah.
Sideshow was good. I like Sideshow when I watched it too. I didn't realize all that stuff, but I did think that you probably would like it. I did not see number 1 coming. That is a surprise to me for sure.
Well, but so the man
but it
who
makes sense.
The man who wrote this, Benjamin Carr, he's worked on the 13 Ghosts remake. Retro Puppet Master, Curse of the Puppet Master, Head of the Family, Witch House, The Killer Eye, The Creeps, Super Hybrid, which sounds like a monster car to me, Phantom Town, Shrieker, Craw, Carcore, The Invader, Totem, their Sideshow, Talisman, Magic Noir, that's an urban horror film, RJ. Clockmaker, Stitches, Frankenstein Reborn, Goobers, The Shrunken City, The Secret Kingdom, etc., etc., etc. Anyway, and then
what was the Craw one again?
This might even be the best Charles Band like fucking thing I've seen like in general. Sorry, for produced. There's actually some good produced full moon movies. But
let me see. I'll go back to my full moon ranked list from 4 years ago. Let's see what I had at number 1 here. I mean, for full moon stuff, it's definitely up there. Where are we at here? Trauma Entertainment. No, we're a little farther back than that, baby. A little farther back. I just have the Puppet Masters ranked. I don't have a full moon ranked. Damn.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this might be better than pretty well anything that Charles Band's directed. Maybe maybe Transfers is like a better thing. No, I don't know. It'd be close for me.
I mean, Full Moon's not very good, bud.
I know. Well, Charles Band as a director is not very good, and that's how we kicked this whole thing off. Amazingly enough.
I mean, yeah, we did, which is unfortunate.
Anyway, so yeah, you were decent on this Sideshow.
Yeah, I have it at number 7. I think it was before I had it at like I think I had it higher, and then I put it behind Spirits while we were talking. While I was talking about Spirits, I think I moved it behind, but I did have it. I had it higher before we started talking.
That's top 10.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, top 10. But no, yeah, Sideshow is good. I liked, like I said, I liked all the special effects. I thought those were really well done, and it's just it's kind of like it's like a Goosebumps kind of, where it's just like,
but like brutal.
Yeah, well, it's got like gnarly effects in it, but that's what I thought. I was just like, it's totally a Goosebumps story where it's like, careful what you wish for, kind of thing, and
something wicked this way comes.
Yeah. But those have their place too, right? So yeah, no, Sideshow's good. It's good stuff.
Well, tell me about Air Rage.
Holy fuck, dude. Okay, here is the tagline via Letterboxd: Lockdown at 30,000 feet.
Ooh, lockdown.
And the synopsis: when a Marine colonel orders his men to massacre a village, they were sent to rescue some hostages, but when they found them dead, they decide to get some payback. Upon returning to the States, the colonel would be court-martialed and made a plea agreement wherein all the blame is on him, and his men would be discharged and receive any benefits they're entitled. But the general presiding over his trials chooses not to agree to the agreement and throws the book at the colonel and has his men dishonorably discharged, thus eliminating all their benefits. Mm-hmm. I don't know who wrote this. Someone who I imagine English is their second language.
I don't know. That's a lot of English speakers, though.
Yes, well, which I understand.
Strangely enough, it sounds like it sometimes.
It's hard to follow this, and I watched this fucking movie, and it's hard to follow this thing. Your buddy Don Doe is in this. He pops up for a little bit, and this is a big star appeal in Ice-T. So you have like military guys, and this is entering the military phase of Fred Olen Ray, I suppose, where you have like discharged military guys, and they have a grudge against colonels. And then, so they hijack the plane, and then Ice-T gets like sky bombed into the plane to take over it, but he doesn't really do anything. There's a lady on there who does everything. Ice-T gets injured immediately, of course, and he can't do anything.
Well, do you remember Executive Decision?
I feel like I've seen it, but I don't remember.
With Kurt Russell.
Yeah, I know it.
Where planes hijacked and they actually get onto the plane.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But you know who's in Executive Decision as well?
Ice-T?
Steven Seagal, and he's barely in it, because that's the twist. You're like, oh man, this is gonna be a Steven Seagal's gonna fuck people up movie, but it's like, nope, that's the fake out, because Kurt Russell's the nerd. But Steven Seagal dies immediately, and then now it's Kurt Russell who's stuck on this plane, and he's got to like save the day.
I gotcha. That makes sense. Yeah, so that's kind of what this is. But it's a 2001 movie where dudes are walking around with like headsets with like the microphones talking about the internet a lot, and you're just like, all right, okay, that's fine. But yeah, it sucks major ass. Even. Even in the credits, like it's a different name completely. It's not Fred Olen Ray. It's It's not even one of his like aliases. Like I didn't recognize the name at all, and I was like, I have no idea who this is.
Like Ed Tandy or something.
And yeah, because I sent you a picture. I was like, what is this shit? I was like, is this Fred Olen Ray or not? And you're like, You're like, I guess. I don't know. It is. And Jim Wynorski's a producer on this thing even. Yeah. But yeah, no, Air Rage is total shit. Total shit. Awesome. So this is I bumped it above Mob Boss, so it is in the 38 position. Yeah. Just above Mob Boss.
This afternoon waiting for you, I did squeeze in Venomous.
The snake film, hey?
Snakes, some snake action with Treat Williams.
Tell me about it.
I think that's Treat Williams. You're not missing out. This is on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
So that's made it very convenient sitting here while doing other things like painting minis. The tagline is "There is no antidote." Mutant snakes survived a terrorist attack on a government laboratory, and they now threaten the town of Santa Mira Springs, California. Seismic activity has brought snakes to the surface where residents are being bitten. Victims can transmit the virus to healthy persons. The military puts the town under quarantine. Local physicians try to control the epidemic, while the military is primarily concerned with keeping the virus a secret.
Okay.
It's like instant Ebola via snake bites.
Yeah, of course. Well, yeah. Why wouldn't it be?
And time is of the essence. But this is boring ass stuff. It's it takes a while for them to figure out it's the snakes. It's the snakes biting people. But it's just like you can't die from a rattlesnake bite. I'm going to leave. Oh no, we got to make sure the serum you don't have any allergies to it. And then they die, and they're like, "Well, that's weird." And then another person dies exactly the same way. Oh, that's weird. But it's all these snakes.
It's bringing us all the way back to Alien Dead when they're like, it's the Gators in the swamp. The Gators is eating people.
Mm-hmm.
The Gators. This one's like, it ain't the snakes.
It ain't the snakes. You gotta worry about.
Where does Venomous fit on your ranked list?
Where would I put that? That is 28 now, behind Star Hunter.
Yeah,
but
that sounds.
But I would put it ahead of Dinosaur Island. But like this is like a fight at the bottom here. This is a real slugfest.
It sounds like it, yeah.
So do we have only one movie left?
I believe we have.
So you didn't watch. So you're telling me you didn't watch like any of the Royal Wedding Christmas movies or whatever the fuck these are, Royal Christmas movies like this. I don't get this. I don't know what the thing is about these movies. Like, so Fred kind of like once in a while he'll throw in like a Tomb of the Werewolf, Haunting Desires, which I'm sure are just softcore movies. There's a fucking wrestling documentary that I'm going to watch one of these days called Southern Discomfort, Wrestling on the Indie Circuit. That might actually be pretty cool. Mm-hmm. There's just like the Erotic Dreams of Genie I've mentioned, Harlots of the Caribbean, Dead Girl's Chest, Bewitched Housewives, Super Ninja Doll. Like this is just like, oh, are you doing this is the Charles Band thing, huh? Like making movies with like people you can just grab that like look like actors, get them out there. But then there's like one day An Accidental Christmas comes along, and then there's a Silent Venom, Voodoo Dolls, Tarzina, Queen of the Kong Island, Dire Wolf, Bikini Frankenstein, Bikini Royale 2, Bikini Jones and the Temple of Eros, Turbulent Skies, American Bandits. That's another Western. Twilight Vamps. My God, the production of these posters. Super Shark, Dirty Blondes from Beyond. Hatfields and McCoys, Bad Blood, starring Christian Slater.
I mean, I'm all over that. That sounds good. Christian Slater, sign me up.
And Jim Fahey.
Jim Fahey? I love Jim Fahey.
With Tim Abel.
Ugh. He's fucking Tim Abel.
Yep.
Okay, so wait. I just saw that Tim Abel was in Sniper, and I got to tell you, I did not recognize this guy at all.
It could have been anybody. Yeah, this is quite the turn. But then there's all these Christmas movies. Are you going to watch one this year?
If we were not in May, I probably would have watched a couple of them.
I don't get these. There's a lot of Christmas things. Christmas in
I
Vermont.
think it's just the Hallmark thing, like you said, right?
Yeah,
like
yep.
it's just
It's
an
hey,
easy paycheck.
It's a fucking living. I'm not
Yep.
gonna harp on it. I'm not gonna watch these movies. Someone's paying them. Good on them. Good on them.
Yep.
And everyone involved. Keep them getting jobs.
Yep, I agree.
But does that excuse Sniper Special Ops from 2016?
It doesn't, and I found
RJ the tagline.
Yeah.
He's watching your six.
Okay, do you want to do a drinking game, Jared, on how many times the expression "watch my six" or "watch your six" is said in this film? How many times do you think it is? Just a shot in the dark.
I don't know. Do you actually know?
I don't, but my guess, because I kept track a little bit after I started noticing, and my guess is 7 to 8 times we watch each other six.
This is an 84-minute long film in which Steven Seagal appears in probably 4 minutes.
Yeah, if that at all. And how many lines does Steven Seagal have in this?
Define line.
How many times does he actually speak and it's audible and you can understand it?
What's the thing he does at the end of this movie? It's like suddenly he has this completely different accent.
Oh. Well, she's like, "Tell me, are you really the best?" And he's like, "Sometimes, once in a while, if I need to be." And you go, "Excuse me."
So this movie, a special ops military force led by expert sniper Sergeant Jake Chandler, that's Steven Seagal's character, are sent to a remote Afghan village to extract an American congressman being held by the Taliban.
Yes. That is essentially what is happening.
Now, are they trying to tell me that Tim Abel is like Sergeant Victor Thomas Mosby, whoever that is?
I just sent you a pic, and look at this. Is that recognizable at all?
That's Tim Abel?
Yeah, he's like the lead character.
Wow. He's like so fucking burly.
Yeah, I had no idea.
I had no idea who it was. I thought it was just some guy. I didn't realize it was the Tim Abel.
The man who
you know what?
saw his penis last week.
Yeah, you know what? I have far more respect for Tim Abel than I do for fucking Steven Seagal.
I agree with you. This dude did porn, and now he's a rugged guy in military movies.
No, that's his gig. Fuck yeah. Good for him. This movie also has Rob Van Dam, RVD.
And could you explain to me what Rob Van Dam is?
The whole fucking show. RVD. You don't... Oh my god, RJ. Come on. From pro wrestling?
What era was he in?
From like ECW 1997 through WWE... God damn, like through 2008 or 9, and then he had almost had a title run. He was wrestling John Cena.
So he was good?
Oh yeah, he's definitely like one of those guys you're like, huh, he's a star, huh? And he was. People loved him. He got over. He's a big old pothead, and this was one of the movies that he's been in. He's Vasquez.
So you're a RVD guy?
I think I thought it was one of those things. I was like, oh, that was a pleasant surprise that RVD showed up in this. I mean, he also shows up in Three-Headed Shark Attack, starring Danny Trejo, Karush Tran, and Rob Van Dam.
I love Karush Tran.
Yeah.
One of my faves.
He's also in Black Mask 2, City of Masks.
Well, yeah, you're going to have a whole city eventually.
Eventually. Yeah,
eventually.
RVD.
Yeah, there's some good dudes in
goddamn, there you go. There's Tim Abel and We Were Soldiers with that actor. Man, 68 films, one of them being Circus Kane.
I had no idea. And cuz like
two check
days
out
before,
there's one at the very bottom here, Navy SEALs v Demons.
That sounds cool. I kind of like that.
Deep in the Bible Belt, Navy SEALs go undercover to save a town from the demons from hell who are stealing souls.
Ooh.
14
Very
people.
interesting.
14 people have watched this.
Well, Oh, well, maybe
So-
it's going to be 15. So.
Sniper Special Ops.
Yeah, tell me about Sniper, Jared.
So you get to watch a gargantuan Steven Seagal,
Yes.
the Leviathan that he is, this massive man with his silly dyed goatee, silly dyed
Yes.
black hair, with his backwards baseball cap. You get to see him like sitting and crouching, not even crouching. I'm sorry, he's sitting and like leaning in with his sniper rifle, saying, "I got your 6," and things like that over and over again. You trust me, buddy? And mumbling like it doesn't matter. That's what he does. He's got top billing. It's the only reason people watch this, because it's kind of like, what is this movie? That is Sniper Special Ops. There's nothing Fred Olen Ray about this. Someone was actually just asking, I think, him on Facebook today about like, oh, you should tell some stories about your shooting with him. Because I think it was just like the other day, Steven Seagal's, hanging out with Vladimir Putin again.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Good guy.
Well, he was going in Russia. He does a lot of like karate, taekwondo demonstrations.
Sure he does. He knows a lot about
Yeah.
martial arts.
Yeah, he does, man. I'll send you a video. He's very good. Very good.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, this is completely unremarkable in any way, beyond the fact that like it's hilarious to watch Steven Seagal sit, and like then he gets up and you're like, oh shit, something's going to happen, but no, now he's going to sit back down now.
I think my favorite Seagal thing in here is that he, as you just said, you're like, oh, something's really gonna happen, but it doesn't. But then I kind of liked how this movie was called Sniper, and I'm not really a gun guy, Jared. I don't know a whole lot about guns, but I'm pretty sure he uses like it's like an assault rifle. It's not a sniper at all.
Oh yeah. That's like I don't know, an AR-15 or something. I don't know.
But I did like how he was shooting it right-handed, and then when there was people on the other side, he switched and he was shooting it left-handed. So he was ambidextrous. He could fire his gun with both hands. Because I feel like he brought that up. He's like, I feel like my character, he wouldn't turn. He would just move the gun to the other hand. He would be good enough to shoot the gun both hands. So you see, Jared? So I feel like that's what he was going for there, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of. I just, on Steven Seagal's IMDb, I just see a personal quote. So quotes from Mr. Steven himself. I am hoping that I can be known as a great writer and actor someday, rather than a sex symbol.
You need to be talking quieter so I can't hear you.
I'm hoping that I can be known as a great writer, actor someday,
Perfect.
rather than a sex symbol.
There you go. Then you go.
Steven Seagal a sex symbol?
No, I don't think so.
Well, he claims he was.
Yeah, he. See, I don't get him. Like his movies suck. Like I've watched this era like of the action movie star, man, and like your Arnie's, your Jean-Claude Van Damme's. Yeah, it's like, but Steven Seagal was in the conversation. He was in there.
Yes, he was.
But you're like, but you watch his movies like Hard to Kill or something like that. You go, why?
Well, Exit Wounds is okay, but that's because DMX is in it.
Yeah, there you go.
It's the only reason.
But he's terrible. Marked for Death. He's terrible.
Yeah, he's a big man. So yeah, this movie. I got your 6, and then we got each other 6. That comes up a lot in this.
So is this number 6 on your list?
It should be for that reason. No, this is pretty low, Jarrett. It's pretty low.
I got your 39.
You got my 39. I got your 37. I could move it to 36, but it's not better than Brain Leeches. So
this is, well, I think it's, this is like, I would watch Brain Leeches before I would need to ever see Sniper again. It's below Scream Queen Hot Tub Party, and which is I don't even consider a film, but it is definitely above Beverly Hills Vamp and Mob Boss.
Yep, it's down there, man. For a lot of reasons. One of them is the incessant army talk, where it's like talking about 6s and stuff like that, and then just like Foxtrot, Belgium, Uniform, Tango, Maria, Bezequil, and you go, excuse me? Because they're just talking like that, like casually. And you're just like, I don't think that's how those guys would talk. Why don't they just use normal words? An actual line in this is one guy says, "Step on it, Charlie." And then the other guy goes, "I'm crushing it, Vic." And I went, what? Is this how army guys talk? I don't understand. I also feel like there is a sneaky jab at Obama in this. Did you see that? Did you pick up on that?
Yeah, I think
The Obama dad thing. I was like, is that a real place? And I Googled it. It's not a real place. So I was like, why would they? I was like, is that like a knock at Obama not being American? Like, what is that?
Yeah,
I don't understand.
Sounds about right.
And I was using quotations for people at home there. But I was really confused by that. I was like, what are they going for here? I don't get it.
This was written by Fred Olen Ray as well.
Oh, I'm sure it was.
This is where it's come to.
Yeah, which is unfortunate. But hey, what a way to go out for Fred Olen Ray, am I right? And so as we wrap up here, I do think I just have to point out that I'm noticing following at home. I know Sam Sanchez is following as well, but I'm just seeing the list here from Corpse, and he hit 39 as well, which is pretty wild. So he was right there with us the whole way. So good for you, bud.
What is
you made it?
What is this Corpse Watch Sideshow 2.5 stars?
It's not for everyone, man. He does have a point. He does pick up that little person, and that is pretty unbelievable. That guy is an asshole, and I know that's his character.
And then he gets his just desserts.
He does. Wait, how does he get taken out again? Is it the lady who's like?
Yeah, she's got her like
sucks into him?
Yeah. She starts chewing on his face with her insides.
Yeah,
and then he gets all disfigured. It's pretty rad. Cool. I don't know what more you want in life. It's pretty cool makeup.
Yeah. It is. How many did Sam Sanchez watch, do you think? I'll try to find it. It's going to take a while, though. Yeah, I can't find it. Can't do it.
Son of a dog. Well, you know what? Fuck it. We're done. This is it. This is the end of Fred Olen Ray.
Sadly, it is. I got to tell you, Jared, I did have a good time this month.
I sometimes dread the double recording in the week. That's a bit of an ask, but we only have to do it a couple times. Well, actually, this is like the only time now, currently, where we have to do the double tap.
Well, maybe next year we can plan accordingly, and our last week of May will just be whatever our May adventure is, instead of a Criterion proper.
Yes, yeah, we had some deadlines and dates set, so I had to work around that. But now we can plan for next year. Now we plan for next year. What will next year have in store for us?
Well, do you want to say some of the ideas you have, or do you want to?
I don't know. Let's do it. I'm going to pull up the list.
Yeah,
I'm going to put them out into the continuum.
Sure.
I got to find a accompanying image for this episode. I don't know. What am I going to do? What's one of the most iconic moments? Is it boobs?
It is boobs. I do have a lot of good like title cards that just say Fred Olen Ray on them. I also have some screenshots from your favorite film, Beverly Hills Vamp, with the guy with the old man with the mustache.
Well, how about anything from even like Bad Girls from Mars or something like that?
I didn't get a lot of screenshots, to be honest.
You were too busy.
Well, no, I was just watching on my TV. The only movie I watched on a laptop was Beverly Hills Vamp, and that's why I have screenshots of it. Like,
okay, so I got some. Here's some names. Should I say all the names, or should we save this? I don't know. There's so many things.
Well, we could put it out in other ways too.
Yeah, we
don't have to do it tonight.
I got everyone's suggestions. The one that we've come up with. There's ones that have nothing to even go on. It's just literally here's another director. There's no pun. That worked twice. Do we have to have a pun? I think
don't know.
Contractually obligated to have a pun.
Yeah, maybe. I'd say maybe where we should leave it is why don't we say this? Do people want 1 month of one person again, or should we do a variety month? Or is that putting too much into the hands of others?
I don't know, man. there's certain directors that you could do. It cuts off other options, and then it's like, also, do we just end the genre thing where we're hitting these guys who are like the and I mean it in the nicest way possible,
boys.
the Schlockmeisters?
Yeah.
Do we leave them behind? 'Cause, I mean, let me tell you, Bruno Mattei, that's pretty well, that's Italian Fred Olen.
Well, I'll put it like this. I think Fred Olen Ray was somewhat my idea. So if you're leaning towards one thing or another, I'll take that ride with you.
Well, so at this point of the four that we've done, who's been the best?
Oh man, they're very, even though they're all in the same wheelhouse, they're very different kind of branches. I think Roger Corman is the classiest of them, which doesn't really mean much.
Yeah.
I would say Lloyd Kaufman, I think, is the most entertaining in terms of he's just kind of a nut bar.
His highs are pretty good. Like I have genuine 4-star movies for me for Kaufman, where that doesn't. And then there's like actually surprisingly few 4 stars from Roger Corman. There are some, and they're really good, but it's really surprising.
I would say in terms of ranking, I'd say Trome, Corme, Fred Olen Ray, and then
old
Full Moon.
Chuck Band.
But that said, though, I actually like the Fred Olen Rays are the ones that probably fit best with my personal tastes.
Your worldview of vampire erotica.
Exactly. So I do think this month was kind to me. I never had a problem throwing on a Fred Olen and just letting it rip. There were some down points for sure, but it didn't get the best of me, is what I'm saying.
That's good.
So,
Well, we'll leave the mystery of what we're going to do for next year going until we figure it out more. But it will something will transpire. And as will the flowers of St. Francis.
Oh, holy shit.
Holy shit.
I guess we'll get there.
We'll get there. All right, then. Good night, everybody. Thanks for joining us. It's June.
Olen May.
I got your 6.
I just want to be a sex symbol.